Hello. Okay. Welcome back to BPL. We are definitely not 38 minutes late. Some really weird tech issues. I've reset my reader. Things look mostly okay. Although I look over and it went more yellow than I wanted it to. We're gonna keep going and I hope this works. We're gonna get the teams ready, and we'll get into game as soon as we can. Okay. Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
Wow.
Seriously, behind the scenes.
We are back. Hopefully no more issues in the foreseeable future. But for anybody hoping for a quick day today, it does not appear that we will be getting as such.
So, let me ask you guys this. What are your guys' actual preds for this match?
I honestly, I put a pred in on Beat Drop Bears for channel points. It wasn't that much, so I guess I am leaning towards Beat Drop Bears. I would assume part of the reason is because I lost to them, so I have a soft spot for them, you know? But I think that's something people need to really consider with Beat Drop Bears is just the Peepo factor. Peepo is... I don't think people give Peepo enough credit for how much microing he can do in a game, how much he can control what his team is doing, how knowledgeable he is of what is happening. But even as I say that, on the other side, you got Mac Tackle. Mac Tackle's a freak of nature as well. Like, this is like the main tanks lineup here on both sides is already like man, I don't know who comes out on top here. It's really, if you were to say that you were going for Summit or Beat Drop Bears, I would understand wholeheartedly either way.
Yeah, I think I'm going for Summit solely because of Mac Tackle. I mean, I can't really... I mean, I put a bet on Summit because at the time it was higher point reward, and I like the risk factor there, and now I'm just kind of running with it and saying Mac Tackle is why I'm going with it. Because both main takes on either side are going to be absolutely nuts to watch, and I am excited to see them. But, you know, I put Preds in on Summit, now I gotta double down on it and just say Mac Tackle. That's what I'm going with.
I'm going to be honest, I don't want to pred this game with a 10-foot pole. I have no idea how this game's going to go. I think Dynamic, we haven't talked about Dynamic enough. Dynamic is really one of those insane players, like probably like a top 10 player in the league, like no doubt. Probably no, that's actually disrespectful. Definitely top 5, maybe 6 or 7, but he's just so good. He's really so good. And I don't know. I think Laser can maybe keep up. I don't know who Tyler is. I'm trying to keep up with who that is, but it's not coming to mind. I know Kernmaster on Beat Drop Bears does a lot of calming as well as Peepo. And I don't know. I think I got to give the overall tank diff, while Mac Tackle is really good, I got to give it to Beat Drop Bears. I think Moopy's an insane gamer. God gamer, Moopy. And I have to give maybe the DPS diff to slightly Summit, solely because Laser's great, love him, my teammate, IJP for life, but Dynamic is on a different level. Like, Dynamic is on an actual different level, and I don't really rate supports because they're support players.
I think both teams, it's kind of just going to come down to coordination and who can execute fights better in some cases, because both main tanks are known to be such big names in the community, and for good reason. And both sides have some really solid DPS to back them up. So I'm really hoping to see some very solid coordinated fights with just intense back and forth. If it's not an intense game, I'm going to be really surprised because both of these are stacked rosters.
I think this is no doubt going to map 3. Winner, I'm the anyway, Andy. Tucker knows. Maybe slight advantage to Beat Drop Bears, but I would not be surprised at all if Summit just came out and whipped it out on the table and just said, no, we win these.
Yeah,
I think it should be a good match.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a map 3. I want some map 3s. I want to see some long maps. After the map 3 from the other day in Whirlwind and Solomon Island Slots, that was a really good map 3, and I want to see at least one more of those today. Map 3s are very exciting to watch.
Texas money, oof, just such, oh God. It's not about him though right now.
It was a game, yes. So we do Yep, we start off with Summit and Beat Drop Bears, and we are behind schedule, but that's okay.
Only a little bit, you know.
All these
Only a
matches
little
now
bit.
are bangers if we look forward. I think Galaxy Monarch should be a fun game. Momentum is always a fun watch. And then I'm really excited for Basalt and Battery versus Cowabunga. I think that's going to be the match of the ages. Probably the second best match of the day.
I'm
So
honestly
tune in.
so excited for all of these. I think they're all going to be so much fun to watch. Monarch and Galaxy. Galaxy seems like just such a fun team to watch. Momentum had just some really crazy strats on Blizzard World last time, and I really want to see if they keep going with that sort of pattern of attack. And then, I mean, you got to give credit to Cowabunga and Basalt and Battery. I also think that one's going to be a fun match. And my ex-teammate, Clockwise, is on Cowabunga, so of course I have to be there to cheer him on now that he's graduated to A-League.
Hey, Chicken, I've got a quick tangent here. Can you hold your QR code on your shirt up to the camera so people can go to?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It doesn't, man.
Doesn't work.
My
trying to
sister made
plug.
this shirt. My sister made this shirt, and it was like, oh yeah, but she didn't realize the QR code ran out. She had to pay monthly, and I was like, don't pay monthly for a shirt. It's not worth it. The shirt is really nice. Like,
It's the thought that counts, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Did it work at one point in time?
It by the time I had it, no.
Oh,
But apparently
unlucky. All right, well, we are starting off on Havana today and going into Volskaya with Oasis as our tiebreaker if we do end up going to a map 3. If we go to a map 4 by some unforeseen miracle, we will be going to Ilios. But first and foremost, we start off on Havana, and I am excited to see perhaps some Rhine play here. We'll see.
Oh yes.
I think we're gonna see the double shield, to be honest. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. Squall is correct.
Havana has become a bit of a rush map, I feel, in most people's eyes. I know that double
think
shield
people-
is definitely good.
Yeah. People just prefer to play the Rhine, and especially Mac Tackle and Pipo. I feel like, maybe they'd do that duel. Alright, I'll hand it off to you two. And let's see what's going.
Thank you.
I think they're definitely gonna go for the close hold, right? Yeah, they're trying to push. They're pushing Tyler. Since the game has honestly evolved so much, people have just realized, just play on the cart. There's no point in really holding so far back when just take a fight at the spawn door, bro.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
chats.
even if you lose it right away, you get back, the card will be at the corner by the time you arrive, so it's like, why get pushed either to begin with? And people will be touching that spawn door right away. The enemy team will be rotating out of the other side, and very quickly an engagement. Ooh, a much better wall coming out from Beat Drop Bears, I must admit. But as I say that, people kind of falls over to the other side, and Mac Tackle will fall, but Mazzino, look at this huge flank from
Dynamic.
Yes, Dynamic.
Yep. And he's pushing the cart.
Yeah,
Is he gonna get him?
Already having to deal with him, and I don't think anyone really wants to have to deal with a 1v1 against this kind of player. Ooh, I say that though, Curdmaster fragging out on the frog, living up to the Beat Drop Bears mantra. Very nice.
Oh, Mac Tackle gets pinned by Pipo. That's actually big. Now they're just stalling out in this cart. Pipo does get frozen, but it doesn't matter. The wall's able to come out, and they're
commit the
just
window
pushing
here.
it.
I mean, the window has been committed, and they have to use the wall to stop it. And ooh, that's going to be a shot onto Sepora. And this so far, even though they lost people, they're still fighting it. This is really honestly what you need to do. Even if you go down a person, you need to fight on that cart. And now people has to shatter. What will they be able to do with it? Just swinging away onto Mac Tackle. Oh my God, that is going to be a big one. But look, the counter charge. Oh my God, and then another shatter of their own coming on the side of Summit, going to try and counteract it. Meester getting 2 in the meantime, support diff potentially, and now Moopy just trying to stay alive on this cart with the Mei. Obviously, respawn advantage is going to be in favor of Summit here. So, all things considered, this probably does go the way of the red team in this potential fight. But still, the stall coming out. Moopy with the Blizzard as well. Are they going to drop it? A kill back onto Mac Tackle as well. I really think that at this point, you just keep the Blizzard. And yeah, that looks like it's going to be what they're doing. Just getting some last minute stall. And look, 2 minutes and 23 seconds left as a pause comes out.
Sepora fragging out on that Arisa.
Yeah, geez.
But we got a pause coming out. Looks like something came in, but what a great hold so far from Beat Drop Bears. They hold them for 2 minutes, but a lot of these escort maps are all about momentum. And will this first fight be, the turning point, the juke into the momentum of theirs? That's who knows. But it looks like Beat Drop Bears, or I think it was Summit. I don't know who needed a pause, but
I believe
somebody
Mac
needs a pause.
Tackle called the original pause, so that would be Summit.
Yeah. So honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, Beat Drop Bears, their rush looks really clean right now. What are your thoughts on this Summit, Ryan Arisa comp? Like,
so
what's the goal, do you think?
I do think the Ryan Arisa, we have seen in the past, for those that don't know a bit of BPL lore for you, last year, after mid-season tournament, we saw some teams that were kind of in the mid-table try and break out of the current ball meta and move towards a Ryan Arisa, which was very weird. It was very weird, and it worked for some teams. So, it has been proven to work amongst this player pool, and, maybe someone's just trying to relive some of the glory days of the second half of Season 2. I don't know.
Beat Drop Bears, though, coming into this map, or this fight with almost 5 ults.
Oh my
and,
god.
They have the window. Both teams commit. They use the bongo, and they're just trying to get this flank going. Dynamic fan in the hammer does get Tyler somehow. Oh,
this window is such a dirty angle. I mean, where are they supposed to hide? A beat is actually going to come out. Honestly, Kernmaster just living by this beat drop mantra, I must say, doing a great job on the funny frog here. You name it to the funny koala, but as I say that, Summit is going to find 3 quick kills in rapid succession. I don't really think there's much they can do at this point. Yeah, Peepo is going to go for an emergency pin. Ooh, okay, almost a pin onto Moopy, and Moopy will be falling here by the looks of it. Actually, no, able to slow Mac down with the freeze and run away. It won't matter though in the grand scheme of taking first or defending first point. Apologies. And now
still a great defense though.
Yeah, very good defense, all things considered. I mean, you entering third point of Havana with just a little over 3 minutes, I think any defensive team would take that.
Yeah, they're already holding up on this high ground. Both Reinhardts have the shatter. Laser going for the hiding right in his face. Oh my god, it gets so. Oh no, unlucky. And I don't know about that shatter, Peepo.
You know what? Sometimes you just have to hit Q. You can't be perfect every time.
Yeah, you gotta be Chad.
Ooh, okay.
What a massive wall from Moopy.
I must say, the walls from both sides so far have been nigh perfect. Like, blocking every window, doing a great job of separating like, Moopy and Dubu are doing a great job with the utility of the Mei right now, and it's sad to say that a lot of Meis in this league aren't able to do that. So it's great to see some actually good, like, walls being used here on the sides of both teams.
Nice. I knew coming from Dynamic, trying to make some space. They do get the wall up, splits the team. This is actually really big. But Moopy hit headshots gold right in the head as the Mei 1v1. And this is great. Moopy's able to get 3 fire here. There's no Mei ult. Gets a big Mei ult. Only gets 3. Only gets 3, as I say. But, gets clipped by Dynamic.
Unfortunate. Another pause.
Tyler has to use that remech to, or the bomb to remech, I'm pretty sure. But other than that, this is looking like a great matchup. If only we didn't have so many pauses. This is like that one. What match was it? Vengeance versus Sloths.
Oh, don't you?
Banger matchup. A lot of pauses. Especially that first map. A lot of pauses. So it happens. Stuff happens. Gotta wait, chat. We'll be here. You get to see our nice faces for now.
Not much we can do there. We had an Unco pause yet? A full hour-long pause? I don't think we have. So, all things considered, we can consider ourselves better than Overwatch League in that sense. Being able to handle pauses in under an hour. Very pog. Yeah, like you said, unfortunate that Tyler had to use the bomb there to remake, but I think, honestly, that's what you would rather do than going into the next fight as a baby diva. I don't think anyone would want that. And just going back to the maze, I do think that the walls are being utilized very well. I would like to see them maybe move in a little closer with the Rhines and really use that primary fire to just make the enemy Rhine afraid of lowering their shield here as we head back into the match here. Tyler getting back into their new fancy mech dropped from the orbital station. And Dynamic?
Dirt.
A little bit.
Does reveal himself, doesn't really want to fully commit, just hold this outside. But the clock's ticking, and we're at 2 minutes now. This is looking kind of, not dire yet, but...
Oh my god, laser on a massive flank. They don't even know. They don't know! Oh my god, going to find Dynamic, and then a high noon of their own. What a massive, disgusting flank from the McCree of Beat Drop Bears. And A lot of people have been saying a lot of B-League DPS being brought up. Not sure if they're supposed to be here yet. I would say, you know what? Laser just held their own there against what we might consider one of the best DPS in this league, with a crazy out-of-pocket flag of all.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought that was dynamic. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even realize that was laser. We were just.
I thought he TP'd it like to the other side of the map, but no, it was laser, holding their own.
Yeah, but now they're fighting for this high ground. The point has barely even got around this first corner yet.
These windows are being built so fast. Bolting and Meester are just absolute crackheads on this Baptiste hero right now. And
I think it's because there's no D.Va. No one to really absorb this damage other than the shields.
Very true. 1 minute left here. Cowabunga is going to be dropped, and they're actually not going to be able to destroy it right away. As I say that, they are going to find it. Look at this flank for Bolt Kick. With this amplification matrix, and MacTackle has a shatter. They're going to be looking to drop it, but I think first they're going to try and find Peepo, who is going to be separated from his team. And now a Blizzard coming out from Moopy, trying to turn this fight back in their favor. That is actually going to do a very good job of finding Dynamic, and once again, that star player being taken out is going to be a massive advantage for the side of Beat Drop Bears. But Tyler with a 2K! Oh my god! A shatter is going to be dropped by MacTackle to try and swap it over, but it's too late. Tyler, with a huge bomb, is going to be making sure that they hold this for just a little bit longer as we go into final fight territory.
This is crazy right now. There's Summit has finally made the decision to swap
on the D.Va.
Sephora onto the D.Va, but it might be a hair too late.
It's overtime. I mean, yeah, this like you really brought up a great point. With not having a D.Va just allows a lot of damage to go through. Yeah, you have 2 shields, but once those shields are stand there like a dead fish. And now a Blizzard from Dubu being thrown through the enemy window is going to just, oh my god, Kernmaster, goodbye. And now all of the heroes frozen up on the side of B-Drop Bears. What a beautiful Blizzard from Dubu, saying it's their time to shine on the funny freeze hero. A right click coming out from Mazino, going to be finding a very nice chunk of damage onto Peepo, finishing him off. And I honestly don't think we see a recontest here just because of overtime spawns.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I don't think there's any shot. Like, they're just still spawning. There's still 2 people left. They don't want to take this engage.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's really not. But still, you know, a great job from B-Drop Bears. I wonder if this Sephora swap onto the D.Va will actually make the difference now, because the momentum, it all takes is a snap, and the momentum could change.
Oh, this is a great rotation. Look at this. Swapping sides here. Defense now becomes offense and vice versa. This window, which was used to just clear out that staircase, is now being used against them. They're now on the defending side. And now they have to retake what is essentially their spawn. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I love this. Look how much natural cover they have. There's really nothing they can do. They're all the way on the outside. They finally
made what a fat shatter!
Massive, but he goes down.
They fall. They're down. The beat once again. Oh my god! Just this time from the opposite side, Cameraman with a huge beat is going to save their team, and now they're able to push this card again. Wow! Every single person on each team is doing a great job. Just massive hero plays all around.
I think maybe they thought it was winnable. Just a hair of an overcommitment on the ults. They're almost at last fight territory, but other than that, great job of just holding the cart as long as they could. If they could have helped, maybe the nail or the window. Like, think about coming into this ult now, this fight with 5 ults, because Summit is about to do the same. They have almost 4 on the board. They have this nail ult, can do so much. And both D.Vas have bombs.
Yeah, this window. Oh, Tyler with another bomb is going to try and seal the deal here. But no, Dynamic is going to find Peepo, and that star main tank player is going to be taken out. Now MacTackle, realizing there's no one to counterpin, gets a free pin onto Laser, but Tyler, out of nowhere, finds MacTackle, punishing for that charge. And now, this is where we have to consider. Overtime spawns are going to be coming into effect here. And as we know, Havana, the defensive spawn advantage is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Dynamic doing a great job of buying some extra time here, but that's a massive shatter. Peepo, you absolute monster. And now another bomb going to be coming out, this time from the side of Summit. Sephora going to find, oh my god, they are actually going to potentially win this. It doesn't matter how big that shatter was if you're going to be getting a huge recontest from the entire team, and now it's just going to be a stall game coming out from B-Drop Bears. I honestly don't know if they have anything that's going to be able to stop this. We're going to be seeing a bunch of swaps now, a ball from Peepo, a Doomfist from Moopy. Everything is just going to be trying to come out of the spawn as fast as possible, but I mean, they have a shatter with nothing to stop it, and yeah, that's just going to be a free shatter onto the ball. But wait, Peepo has found multi-kicks, and now they've got the second. How do you find 2 kills and they see 9? No! Oh!
Mac Tackle doing so much. Just shattering the ball, saying, get off the point, and then cleaning up everything on the point. They were so close. That was clinical. Actually clinical from Mac Tackle.
I mean, what a bunch of gamers, like, just Sigma male grind set energy coming from every single player here. like it's actually crazy how well everyone is doing. I mean, I think it just goes to show we were expecting this to be a good match, and I think it's delivering.
I do gotta say though, on this second point right here, the camera's passing. If we could have maybe, if Beat Drop Bears could have maybe saved, the window or the Mayo, at least just one of them, that could have been such a pivotal moment. Because they invested resources in the lost fight. They were doing so well, and you just needed to not commit, really, right?
Sephora going to the Zarya here. Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe they just don't want to play the Diva that much. They
eventually
swapped to
Zarya
it.
main, I'm pretty sure.
I know that they're very good at Zarya. For those that don't know, Sephora was super last night, and was on their stream. Was doing very good. They won that match. It was very cool to see them be able to play with a still pro player. Rest in peace, half of the Shock roster. But like you said, a very good Zarya player, and it looks like they're gonna try and lean into that, play to their
Both
strengths.
teams are going to the TP now. We didn't see this first map.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm very surprised to see both at the same time swapping over to the Sim, and they missed the pin onto Mac. That is unfortunate. And now they say, you know what, it's my turn, and they pay for it immediately.
Massive lamp though from Meeser. Keeps people alive just for a second. And now they've traded the main tags. Sephora gets very low. They take the TP out.
Good TP. Good TP.
Very good, actually. They're able to stall this card even longer now. But Laser's getting the laser beam pretty high charge right now.
Oh, no.
He's waiting for that nail.
Oh, a good bubble, actually, to keep him up for the time being. And, I mean, I don't think it's really going to matter at this point. Yeah, with Dubu going down, they're going to be losing the Mei with a lot of utility being lost there. I think they just need to give up this space and run. And, yeah, look, they're going to be chasing. They smell blood in the water, and they're going in. Look how far they're going to chase them. They're mega.
These bears are hungry. Now, but they're just pushing the cart right now. They're kind of split, but they're playing this really good. Just holding this choke, waiting for the engagement. Some are coming in with the window and the wall. They commit it instantly. And now, we have the Venn diagram of the damage.
Flowchart Overwatch being enacted here.
Ooh, gold goes down.
Yeah, that's a big pick here, and a window now on the side of Summit from Golden Cake, and they're going to be able to kind of just circumnavigate it, and now a Shatter coming out, nothing going to come of it, and yeah, that's going to be a cleanup because of the very nice Blizzard from Moopy, and yeah, that should just be some more card push for them, and all things considered, they're making decent time, and I think they should be happy with what they've got here. They definitely have to fight once more, though, and I don't know if you've noticed, but the funny Russian weightlifter has a Graviton Surge.
But I would like to let counter your point with Tyler. Tyler has the DM.
Oh, impossible. Are you saying an ultimate can be negated with just a simple right click?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, not this time.
Oh, not this time.
I do have a beat. The beat does work out.
This is massive, actually. They are somehow winning this fight. Both beats come out. And Sephora is just trying to put this damage in. And they're putting the damage to work. And putting these bears down.
Was that a Lads moment? Was that an overlaying of support ultimates? I think it was, because they had both the window and the beat, and they used both to try and counter the grav, and it didn't work. That's unfortunate. And now, actually, look at this. Sephora already 40% to another grav. That's actually scary for the side of Beat Drop Bears here.
Yeah, she's having a great map right now so far. But Beat Drop Bears coming back in, and Moopy gets dangerously low. Has to get healed up. Taking a little bit while they TP. Oh, they're just baiting it right now, having them work away.
It's all a
giving
mental
them that thought. Yes.
Trying to get the Shatter off. I mean, you really are just trying to figure out what that other Reinhardt is seeing. Or do you have the advantage in what?
Oh,
They walled the Shatter up. What? Oh my God. That they were probably trying to block it, but that was even more swaggy. Actually insane. And now Cake is going to try and turn this back into the favor of Summit, a Shatter of their own coming out, and now the window from the opposite side going to be taken out. I mean, this is just continuously.
Dynamic is popping. Dynamic put in so much work there. I think they're going back to spawn. I think they're gonna swap.
Yeah. I think
Oh
they're
no, they're
swapping
TP.
here.
They're,
They're setting it up. All right, smart.
my God, 500 IQ.
Yeah, I mean, if
The
it's this,
TP with the spawn.
it looks like we're going to be going into an overtime scenario here. So I mean, you can make your overtime spawns quicker. I mean, you take those, and look, Beatrap Bear is going to be setting up a TP very similarly, where they're able to get back quicker in case they go down. And now a bomb coming out. They're going to have to drop the Simmel to try and stay alive, and it will do it, getting it. And now the grab
Big
yet
grab.
again from a Blizzard to try and counteract it. But I don't think that's going to be enough. I think that we're going to be against all odds. A beat coming out from Beatrap Bears is going to try and keep them in this, but I really don't know if they're going to have the gas to get over the finish line. Mac Tackle will fall, and now a beat from Cameraman on the side of Summit. Sealed the deal. Yeah, I mean, come on. The Zarya working out in today's economy? I mean, last time I doubt the Sephora Zarya.
Yeah. Wow. Just wow. Honestly, kind of crazy. I did not. I thought without the diva they would be a lot worse, but in this rush brawl, you know, right up in their face, Sephora was able. I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Sephora, obviously, was getting a lot of damage on those, a lot of value from those bubbles, just getting high charge and just, you know, doing the high charge Zarya thing, beaming him down.
Well, you know,
That
something we highlighted at the start of the match, or the start of that second round, was how both teams went to Sim. Which, you know, Sim is very good in the brawl rush like mirror right now. Extremely good. Getting up to that high charge is so good for your team's DPS output. However, Sim is able to counteract the Diva, and I'm wondering if the reason they ran the Zarya, not only because Sephora is a freak of nature on it, but also because they have a Diva, and the Diva can't DM the Sim, and they also can't DM a Zarya. So if you have a full Sim and Zarya both beaming at the same time, that's a bunch of damage you can only stop with a Rhine Shield. I mean, that's a really good advantage that they might have been able to capitalize on there. And regardless of if that was the game plan or not, I mean, the Zarya pick works, and they do a great job holding on first to Havana. Not an unheard of feat, but still, a rare one at that. And they're going to be going up 1-0 for this series so far.
Yeah, and next map we should be heading into Volskaya, I think.
Oh,
sure, yes. I personally like Volskaya.
Volskaya is one of the better GCP maps. Yeah. I will admit.
Better than Hanamura. People kind of don't mind Anubis as much, and it's like, but Hanamura is just like, bruh.
You know, democratically, we decided that Horizon Lunar Colony should be in instead of Hanamura, and Hanamura is still here. I think that there was potentially some rigging of votes in the background of our administration team. So I will be conducting a thorough investigation into that. If I disappear in 2 weeks, then you'll know what happened.
Yeah, he brought it up, not me. I didn't say nothing.
You know, we won't deal with 2CP for much longer. Hopefully, copium. Ingesting
I hope
copious
2CP forever.
Yeah.
I hope we never leave it. We do have some subs coming in though.
Yeah, what will the subs be here? Freya letting us know.
Is coming in for gold.
Okay.
Flight is coming in for camera.
All right.
On the side of Summit. Aquarius is coming in for laser, and then Moopy is swapping from DPS to off deck, and Tyler's coming out. And that makes sense. Some players are just good. Like, it's like nothing really other than that. They're just really good, and not that you're throwing, but even if you're having them on a different role, it's better than not having them in the lineup at all. Whether it's like, you know, comms or, you know, like IGLing, like some people just pop off, and Moopy is one of those god gamers. I don't know how many more times I have to say it, but I will say it until the end of time.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a big Moopy stan.
Like you said, some players you just want to keep in the lineup for the value that they bring, regardless of, like, you know, their main or anything about that. Apologies, I don't know if you can hear the birds in the background right now, but one of them is currently singing to themselves, and they're being a bit loud. Regardless of what my avian friends are doing here, with Volskaya Industries, I do think that the rush could still work out very fine. I am interested to see the DPS that they choose. You know, if they do the the rush mirror again, I would expect to see similar DPS. But you know, I feel like Volskaya opens up a lot of opportunities for different DPS, especially flank DPS. I think Sombra's very good with how many megas there are to control on the map. Tracer can do a lot with being able to zip and zap around a map. No Echo today, surprisingly. Both teams leaning very heavily into the mirror. And you know, Echo not really an integral part of that kind of a matchup, so I guess that makes sense. But yeah, overall, I think that this should be yet another good match, and I'm praying that we don't get a draw. Please, no draw. If you think about it, we could go to a map 4 if this was, and then Beat Drop Bears win. I believe it was it Oasis or Ilios first? I believe it was Oasis. So we could go to.
It would be Oasis, yeah.
Yeah, it would be the coveted 4th mat. I'd rather not, considering that we're already a little bit late, and I'm sure that these players are.
You don't want your pred to be right? We get the draw.
Pred?
They win. You said you pred Beat Drop Bears, all right? So hear me out.
Yes.
Hear me out.
Okay.
They win Volskaya. They win, or they draw Volskaya.
Okay.
They win Oasis. They win Ilios. That'd be a banger match, honestly.
It would be a banger match, but that's a 4th map, you know? Actually, no, wait, you're actually smart. That means I get to cast another map with
you. You signed up for this.
Yes, that's the best outcome here. So I think you're actually onto the right thing. Man, I love the Summit branding. It's very clean. A lot of clean branding.
Honestly, I wanted to go to a 4th map just so we're so behind on schedule.
Just
so we're like 2 hours behind on schedule. I think that's really funny.
Yeah, no problem, Solomon. Hey, look, Echo. How about that? I willed it into existence. You're welcome. Very different support lineups here, though, I must have. Mac Tackle also going to be on the. Honestly, the only thing that's the same here is the DPS, actually. Look at this. Different tank lines, different support line, very different approaches here. And I'm interested to see which one works out better.
Yeah, it looks like they want to. Both teams are going for like the dive, except Summit obviously they're playing defense, so they have like the Widow, they have the Zen, hold that and trying to get some damage. And as I say that, oh my god, I got the teams confused. They're on attack. Oh yeah, they're going for this new age dive. Normally you'd run the Devo, but obviously Sephora, Zarya, the Warlord, let her play the Zarya. And just like that, people's already gone down. It's just really bad.
I must say that there's a lot of pressure being utilized by this positioning of Summit. Dynamic coming over the side there just opens up a lot of damage onto this backline on the upper high ground. And now look, Mac Tackle being bubbled on the ball is going to just roll in of any issues. And now an Echo 1v1 in the sky, and it looks like Aquarius is finding better of Dynamic. That's not something you see every day. And now Garden onto this Tracer is going to be trying to do as much as they can, and I think this is already going to be in favor of Summit here. Honestly, quite a roll for this first point. And look at the ultimates they're going to be having here. They're going to be very close to nearly 5 ultimates. Meanwhile, on the other side, I mean, they've got a Nano to work with. This is honestly kind of worrisome if you're rooting for Beat Drop Bears.
Yeah, Peepo making that swap to the ball, thinking the fight was winnable, and then having to swap back, just losing all ult charge. This is not looking good for Beat Drop Bears. They won that really clean. Like, it wasn't super clean. The fight took a while, but just never losing. Peepo does get the nano. They go on the engage. He's on Sephora's.
That's actually huge. They killed Meester. Or not Meester. Meester kills Dynamic, sorry. But no, it doesn't matter because they're just going to res it up. And now Sephora has gotten a kill on the Peepo. The nano engage not being as fruitful as I think they'd hoped. And now, look at this. A double kill with the focusing beam. Very cool ability. Thank you, Blizzard. And now this is going to be some last minute desperation from the side of Beat Drop Bears. A Grav going to come out. There's nothing to stop it. I mean, Peepo has come back.
Is beaming right now.
Yeah, this is actually. Oh my god. And now, I mean, this is desperation. I don't think anything is really going to be happening here for the side of Beat Drop Bears unless some last minute heroics like a 1-click from Laser are able to happen. Looking at the Zen, they're potentially looking to get it, but no, there's a trance. This is going to be a very, very fast take from Summit by the looks of things. Peepo not even going to be getting close to that Primal, and yeah, this is just last minute stall coming out. Wow.
Summit are at the top of the peak right now. They are climbing the mountain.
I think Sephora actually is just real life Zarya. Like they're flexing their muscles right now, and just like look at the heavy lifting I'm doing on the beam hero. Like, is anyone else playing Zarya right now? Like have we seen any other team play Zarya at this point in the league yet?
Not to don't think so.
I mean, hey, if it ain't broke,
I'm
don't
trying
fix
to go
it.
through all the mental games. There's
If
been
it
a
ain't
lot of
broke,
games lately.
don't fix it. Sephora's and I would like to say we're hyping up Sephora on the Zarya, as if they're the second coming of Christ. You know, I think part of that is just, you know, Zarya's working. That's cool. We're not seeing a lot of Zarya right now. And as I say that, back to the horse, we're going to be seeing some double shield here and Garden on Ashe. I do like this. I do like this. This actually has me really worried for beat jumpers, if I'm being honest. They're going to be going 6-man. How are they going to get to the enemy team?
You could maybe like rotate through like if you're attacking like the left side through that little doorway, maybe go, or you know, either way, right side or left side, go upstairs.
It's definitely gonna have to be a rotation game.
You're gonna take a lot of.
They have to be patient. Yeah, they have to be patient. They can't rush it. People
And
can't jump in.
Another thing with the Summit DPS and supports is they're very easy able to just rotate from each side of the high ground. You know, it doesn't really matter which way they go unless they, you know, try and brute force straight in. And even then, I think that's the worst option because they'll just get picked at from all sides. But they see this, they instantly know, let's swap off the signal.
Very good.
Well, I say that people just need some help. I don't know. Maybe they're discussing. They want to keep the monkey, but they're going to make the swap to the Echo Anna.
Okay, I think the Anna's okay here. I mean, anti-nate's gonna be huge.
I don't know about the Brig though. What are you getting dodged by? Other than dirt? Not dirt. Oh my
Mental
God,
damage.
dynamic.
They see Brigitte and they immediately hate the game.
Yeah, so people are taking the soft out, just trying to poke in, but Laser goes down. Dynamic, like I said, Dynamic, I love Laser. Dynamic is on another level. He is just insane. Look at all this beam damage he's getting in.
I mean,
They
it's
get
like
the defect on the movie.
it's like an AC-130 just flying in, like hovering above everything, just peppering infinite damage down. It's ridiculous how much the Dynamic is able to get out of this hero's like ridiculous utility. And I mean, already 2/3 of the way to a duplicate, by the way. Meanwhile, on the other side, I mean, I feel like this is very similar to the offense, where it's like Summit are outpacing them on the ultimates, and that just puts them at a disadvantage for half of their attack phase. Like, there will be a nano coming out onto the side of people, a very good coach gun to keep him away for the time being, and he's going to keep trying to walk forward, and he's getting very close to this primal. This might be a huge primal opportunity here, but no, not getting the Garden gets a big kill on the Laser, and now finding a second on the Card Master. Okay, Garden lighting up the kill feed very quickly, and yeah, that's just gonna be a quick reset piece to realizing that's a done and done deal, and going to be going back to the spawn room.
This is just absolutely one of the hardest defenses, because it's just like Dynamic can do whatever he wants. He's up in the air, he's to your left, your right. You have no idea where he is. And meanwhile, you have Guard in the backline just peppering everybody, getting free Bob damage, or getting free Bobble charge. And it's like, if you go for a Garden, your backline you're just absolutely decimated for Dynamic. And if you don't, you're going to get headshot. It's very tough to deal with this.
Oh, what a great redirect. That was a very, very nice one. Yeah, that's going to be another one. People, no! You know what, Chad? Actually, you know what? That's how you do it. You throw them off the map and then you join them in the drink, just to flex on them. But you know, there is a duplicate monkey on the enemy team, but that Brig you were talking about doing a great job of actually zoning away the primaling dupe, and they're still having to fight tooth and nail here. I mean, yeah, here they go. They finally break through. Yeah, they finally break through. They are going to take this, and what a hero play from Peepo.
Peepo's like, team, I kill 3. Please go in.
team, go. I mean,
but
yeah, I mean...
Actual heroics, though, from Peepo.
Yeah, all things considered, like, they should have known Peepo had Primal at that point, especially after the huge nano engage that they gave to him the fight prior. Standing on that high ground and not, like, trying to keep them away when they jump in and can just knock you into the drink behind you, maybe not the best play. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20.
Definitely.
We have another nano engage here. Oh, that's a huge pick. That is a massive pick.
Is Flighty going to get the res, though? Doesn't look like it. Peepo going in with the nano, and they're on this. The momentum has swapped. They get this first tick, and Pipo is getting so much value, and so is Aquarius on this Echo. And oh my god, what is it? The ego dupe. Just get him out. I'm better. And this is Cap. Wow.
That's gonna be it. Yeah. Well, how about
we got a
that?
map. We got a map.
I would like to highlight that unfortunately the flux from Mac Tackle got 0 people. They tried to flux Pipo on the engage with the nano, but I believe they didn't make it because of a coach gun shot, or I don't know. They didn't land on the team. So the hopes of smashing him into the ground with the flux ended up not happening because they didn't even land in it. So a waste of the flux is unfortunate to say the least, and just honestly, I'd be worried if I'm Summit, because now Beat Drop Bears, they're hot. They're striking when the iron's hot. They just finished their offense. Oh, they get to go again. They just get to continue with this momentum that they've already put in place for themselves. And Summit are like, okay, we'll just do the same thing we did before, and better this time.
Now, I always like saying this. I don't know if I've said this on cast before. Maybe I have once, but I'm personally in the camp of this kind of doesn't really show go to my analogy completely, because you know Summit did hold them for a long time on A, but whenever you like roll super hard and get less time, I think that's like kind of a buff, because it's like, what did we do wrong? You don't really have like much time to adjust, especially in like rank and stuff, and it's like we could just do that again, roll them again. The momentum can swap really quickly, especially I think less time can be an advantage sometimes, personally. But
yeah, I mean, all things considered, look, Beat Drop Bears, they know what comp to come out of this time, like right away, instead of having to spend 30 seconds to spawn. Pipo is going to be jumping right on again, and poof. Yeah, gone. The focusing beam is too much. A lot of damage. They're jumping into a bunker as Winston is tough, to say the least. So,
and it looks like they're all stacking on that side too.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job of just creating a firing squad on that upper high ground. Only thing to be worried about is if Pipo gets another primal, I think.
Definitely. But he's probably only halfway right now. And they're pushing and they're getting ready. But, ooh, some of them super low current and laser getting low. People trying to, I think they're trying to just build late, they're just building nano right now. This is probably the best course of action.
Yeah, it definitely is, especially with how much time is in a minute. And they're still shooting. They do not care. They say, you know what, screw it. We know they're building a nano. We're just going to try and build ults of our own. And people halfway to this primal is going to be going in with the nano, and look at that, already up to 90%, going to be getting very close. And here comes the primal yet again. I'm having deja vu all over again. And this time, no one going into the drink right away. Pipo, with almost full health, is going to come back in and find...
Oh my god, what a juggle.
1, 2, okay.
I've just been in this place before.
But meanwhile, while Pipo is doing a juggling act in the back, the rest of the team is falling, and with how little time is left, this might not be good for the team. And with a dupe on the side of Dynamic, I really am concerned that... Wait, hold on. Oh, they realize that someone's in the back, I think. I don't know if they're going to be able to touch here. They do get the touch, but at what cost? They are going to lose Beaster. And now, look, a flux that is hit. And yeah, that should...
That's going to be rough. Yeah, this is over.
That's a full hold.
Unless, Moopy wins these, though. If Moopy touches, he wins those, I believe.
Yeah, unfortunately, the magic of Pipo getting the primal, it took a little, I think it took a little longer than they were hoping for the kills to be netted from it. Getting the 2 kills, obviously massive, but in the time that it took for that to happen, the rest of the team that wasn't being juggled around by a space ape was just falling over, you know? Like they were getting killed by Summit, unfortunately.
Wait a minute. Now we're in a draw scenario, Techo. Chat, do you see it? Chat.
I don't see it.
Chat, does anyone have their telescopes out? Are we possibly heading to a third map at 1 and 0? You know, it's too early. It's too early. We still got a whole 3 minutes.
If I'm being honest with you, I don't foresee a draw happening here, just because if you remember the offense of they took the point very quickly. I think they have a pretty good understanding of how to crack this open. And all things considered, they just stuck to their guns for the defense, and it worked. They realized that they got a lot of time off on the first attack phase, even if they lost it eventually. There was less time, so they didn't have to worry about it. TikTok inside the attacker's spawn from Sepora here, swinging back and forth. The inevitable
came in like a wrecking ball.
time. Dropping back to the ground, swapping back over to the Zarya, and is that a Mac tackle hog? You see.
The Hog Zarya. I think, is this a first in BPL? I was gonna say Overwatch League. Is this a first in BPL?
This might be a little BM, I'm not gonna lie. I think they're feeling themselves here, and yeah, Mac Tackle's gotta be looking for a hook onto a potentially stray attacker of the Drop Bears. Nothing coming from that first hook, and antied as well. This is Yep, that's Hog. Get antied, run away. They're going to be playing inside the little bunker here, and a hook comes out. Garden is going to be on the Widow, finding Meester, and in the meantime, Peepo is going to fall from the Hog. I mean, that should be it. A very unfortunate way to lose, and a kill with the hook hitting onto Boopy. That is going to be it. Summit taking a pretty nice 2-0 here against Beat Drop Bears, and yet again solidifying themselves towards the top of our standings.
GG. I want to say it was. I wanted it to be a closer map. I think on Full Sky it was definitely closer, but yeah, this Peepo. Oh my God, Peepo is so handsome. I'm always gonna be Peepo stan as well.
I forgot. People fell into the drink with that one. Sorry, let me sit up here. I was just vibing with the games there. I do think this shows, as great as Peepo is, as many hero plays as they're able to get there. I feel that Summit in the end had more like a better understanding of like backups and backup plans and stuff. I do feel like Beat Drop Bears maybe they had one plan, and when it didn't work out, they just kept going with it, and that's understandable. There's only so much practicing you can do in this league, and overall, I wouldn't be too upset if I were the Beat Drop Bears. You can't win them all. It's only the second week, and I think most people are still expecting to see good things from you. So heads up, and it looks like we have Sepora and Hayden in the waiting room from Summit, if we would like to interview them.
Get them up. I don't have the power.
I do not either. They're there. Aha. Hello. Welcome.
Oh, congrats.
Greetings.
Thank you.
How are you guys feeling after that win, Beat Drop Bears?
Say how you feeling?
Fantastic. Mac Hog too strong.
So, Sepora, we were highlighting during the match, and I'm very glad that you came up for the interview here. We were highlighting the Zarya. We were questioning like, no one else is really running Zarya here. Like, it was working really well. We know that you're a very talented Zarya player. Was that just leaning into your own skill set, or was there a deeper reason for running the funny beam hero?
Zarya go Burr.
Zarya go Burr.
True.
I think that's all we need to know there. Did you guys have a game plan coming into Beat Drop Bears? I know that they were coming in kind of hot from last week, and I think they were kind of looking to upset here. You guys were able to stop that. Did you have any plans, or did you just kind of stick to your guns?
I don't think so. I think we kind of just came to this week assuming we win, and we won, and it worked.
Hey, can I answer for you?
Yeah, what's up?
Dynamic go Burr.
Yeah, pretty much.
True.
A lot of Burr today.
Actually,
yeah,
true.
a lot of
Burr.
A lot of beams, a lot of blizzards, a lot of Burr abilities. Squall, did you have any questions for either Hayden or Sepora?
No, I mean, I was gonna ask what you were thinking coming into this game, especially considering their performance last week. But I guess it can all be summarized by heroes that go Burr.
I mean,
yeah, pretty much.
It's app branding. They're Summit. They're at the peak. It's a little chilly up there. But overall, I think a lot of people looking at Summit as yet again another very good team from Mr. Haydenator. Hayden, you've let's not beat around the bush. A lot of second place finishes here. It's
Okay.
nothing to be ashamed about. Are you feeling like Summit's maybe is Summit maybe the one that finally breaks the curse? Is Summit finally the one that locks it in at the very end?
I mean, it's all in the branding, right? We're reaching the peak. We're reaching the top. I think so. I
Good
really
luck.
do.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys have. Already doing a very good job with your first 2 weeks here, and I'm expecting that we'll see more of that in the future. Any last words that you guys would like to get in that don't require us asking you a question?
Say you got any thoughts?
Mac Tackle top 1 BPL player.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, top
And then
one.
Dynamic is number 2.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, sure.
All right, we've got the tier list now. Who's 3 then?
Flighty.
Flighty.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for coming in to share your thoughts. Congratulations once again on the win, and best of luck going into next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I believed in the Mac Tackle. I believed in his main tank. Got some good points out of that one, but honestly, people, that was a good main tank duel right there. I enjoyed that. A note from Solomon for stream. We're having some internet issues, so the stream might drop some frames or look worse, but we're behind schedule. We're just gonna keep going. We'll have the nice shiny upload later. Don't worry about it. But next up, we have Monarch versus Galaxy, which hopefully will be yet another banger match of the day. So, no, don't want to miss it. Just stick around and we'll be right back.
Thank you for having us.
BPL Season 3 is brought to you by John's Overwatch Coaching. Struggling to hit plat? Want some advice in your BPL scrims? Need an owl coach? Book a session with John at medify.gg/@John for a high-quality professional coaching session regardless of your skill level. He has excellent experience from XL2, Team Doge, and British Hurricane, but will still give you incredible advice at whatever rank you are. Support BPL's coaching partner today at medify.gg/@John.
All right, and we are back after a very quick break because we are just a little bit behind schedule. But we are next up with Monarch versus Galaxy, and I am joined here by Wisey and Shun Blizzard. How are you two doing today?
Not too bad, not too bad. How about yourself?
Doing good. First match was a good match, and it was fun to watch. But I'm going to say this for every single one, but I think all these matches today are going to be good. So I'm a little biased. I think all of them are going to be very exciting matches.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know too much about the teams, Monarch, Galaxy. There's a couple of names recognizable on there, but I think you two are more likely anyway to know them more than I would anyway. But if we're looking specifically at standings, both of these teams are currently 1-0 in the standings. They won their last week games, so it's not going to be too much of a slugfest.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was really impressed with Galaxy last week. Admin Aces did give them some trouble, but I really liked the way they were able to kind of adapt their play style last week and be able to take both of those maps. And that was actually going to be one of my keys for Galaxy, is that the one thing I noticed with Galaxy was that early on in the match, they were having a lot of trouble with that Pharah Mercy comp. It looked like they were struggling with it a little bit. I don't know if we're going to see it today, but if we do, it'll be interesting to see how they're able to adapt to that.
Yeah, and we will be starting off once again on Havana and Volskaya. A very, very similar lineup to our last map, along with Helios as the tiebreaker if necessary. And God forbid we get a draw on Volskaya, then we will be going to Busan. But the open air in both of these maps, at least for First Point Havana, does lend itself potentially to seeing some of those flying heroes. I know everyone thinks of Recurve when they think of Pharah, but you never know who's going to break it out, and he's been showing himself just to be more of a flex DPS and playing a bit more. I remember we saw him on the Sombra last time around. So we could potentially see him back on the Pharah, or we could just see him on some other flex DPS. But I am very excited, and I will let you two get at it.
Alright, thank you. And yeah, we're going to be heading right in on Havana here, like you said. Recurve, of course, will be, fielded here, but won't be, at least at the start here, showing off those flying heroes that they are perhaps renowned for.
No, they are not. But there's... sorry, excuse me. But yeah, there's definitely some opportunity later down the line. Point A and C on Havana, as you know, very wide open, always gives us opportunities. But point B is the more confined area. You're going to get a lot more dive, brawly, comp swept. So we'll see how these teams adapt as the match goes on.
Absolutely, and a very interesting starting comp here for Monarch. We're seeing some Sombra Soldier composition, where they're going to go for this kind of spawn camp. What is going to be on the Monkey as well, which makes this even more just wacky and weird. You'll see that pin immediately just come through. They want to try and get out of there. Monarch have been caught out way off guard by what Galaxy are running. This double shield can do so much damage in these close quarters. Look at that, Recurve just hitting mad shots on the Cowboy.
Yeah, and especially here, we know teams like to try and hold here on Havana point A. A double shield definitely can pose some problems, especially for the spawning team.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are your thoughts on this weird Sombra Soldier variant?
I can see where they're going with the Sombra, but the Soldier into double shield, it's gonna, not to say you can't get value, but it's gonna be hard to see how you get value from it.
Yeah, and immediately you see a dive actually come through Monarch. They're getting in there with that anti-nade. Phoenix is so low, gets taken down, but thankfully there's a trade coming out there. Andrew will actually trade on to two members. Zenyatta's popping off right now as you'll see a disengage come through, but I mean, Galaxy, they've already got the advantage they need. You'll see Andrew peeking through as well, trying to get more damage in, already building up so close to that Transcendence, and Galaxy just keep rolling this forward.
I know, and glad you brought up Andrew. Yeah, that Zenyatta, that Discord Orb, he just outputs a ton of damage when you put that Discord Orb out. So Galaxy looking good so far, about to close in here on point A.
Yeah, absolutely. And now there will be a recontest. Wada is going to go just extremely aggressive into the back there, but instead it ends up being the Reinhardt that falls instead. Recurve takes one down with a high noon as well, and Monarch, they are still struggling with this composition as Galaxy will just roll it through to point A.
Yeah, Galaxy, despite that kind of early struggle there in the spawn, looked very clean getting into point A. Monarch, though, they do look, they're coming up on 5 ultimates now, including that EMP, so we'll see if we can get some value, but Andrew does have that Transcendence to counter.
Indeed, that Transcendence could be a massive, but I mean, there's not going to be an EMP just yet here, so Monarch have to wait around a little bit for that to get farmed up. Instead, they're going to go for a very hard engage, so I eat my words there. A nice nano boost actually comes through here as well. Attack Visor, just loads of ultimates for Monarch being invested, and they will get 2 kills off of it. Gravitic Flux was invested there, and I don't know how much value that's going to get, but what it uses a Primal Rage as well, that was like at least 4 ultimates used there by Monarch, and somehow what it still ends up falling. They do have the EMP if they want to turn things around, and Galaxy is still here on the cart, holding that presence. And now the EMP will end up coming through. It catches onto 5 members of Galaxy, and it will be the Zenyatta that falls first there to Tomathan. But, I mean, who else is going to fall? Monarch, they're getting forced back. They have to use that beat. They've used 6 ultimates in this fight so far here, Shund. And what are they gaining from it? They're going to hack on to Alter, sure, but what's that going to do when Recurve is hitting mad shots on the McCree?
Oh man, that's if you're Monarch, you probably want those ultimates back. That is the shatter right there. Oh my goodness. Monarch turning this though, but again, just a crazy fight all around. Like you said, Monarch invested so many ults there and then still end up losing that fight. That's rough.
Yeah, and it wasn't just like they used it all at the start. They used them over time during the fight. They should have just either backed out or hard committed without ults.
Yeah, the EMP did catch fire, but at that point it was kind of too late there.
Yeah, and it really makes you question, like, what's the synergy in this composition, other than that nano boost onto the Winston, which we'll end up seeing here as well. What it finally manages to take down Recurve early on here with that dive. It's like Gravitic Flux slams people down to the ground, but nothing's going to happen, and instead it's a shatter. Actually misses there for Joby Dong, but it should be fine, as Monica finally regained control with only a couple of ultimates used. A much cleaner team fight than the previous one, we'll say that much.
Yeah, exactly. And now that you get some of these picks, you're able to start to breathe if you're on the side of Monarch, and you've got some ultimates coming up. But you've got your Primal about to come up. You've got your Visor ready to go. Galaxy they're gonna have a Pulse Bomb and a Transcendence. They could possibly counter this if they need to.
Absolutely. This Visor from Macrop won't actually end up getting too much, but instead it's that Pulse Rifle. Manages to take down Alter and will actually end up using the Visor just to get some of the cleanup kills through. That Transcendence actually is invested here by Andrew in a little bit of I guess a flurry of panic, I suppose. I'm not entirely sure if it was necessary.
Yeah, by the time you used your transfer, the fight was already over. You had already lost 2 members. It might have been a panic, but either way, I'm pretty sure that's a transfer like to come back. But now switching over to the BAP here to try and get that amplification.
Yeah, and that's a very good starting high noon here from Recurve, is countered by an EMP, but it doesn't matter. In fact, it does, actually, as there's a couple of trades going both ways right now. Again, one of these slugfest fights, but a nice slam comes through there. Smar will almost get taken down, but instead is Galaxy. They're kind of on the back foot. They have to back up because their Reinhardt has fallen.
Yeah, and this is what I was mentioning earlier. This point B, very close quarters, very scrappy fights, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. And now it's just kind of a neutral game here for both teams. Neither team with an ultimate online as of yet, but Monarch about to have their Shatter online.
Yeah, this could actually come up massive, especially if you go from the top ropes like this. They're going to try and weave their way around and, get something with a Shatter. Instead, it's just going to be some pressure from the high ground. You really want to get that spam into the enemy shield. Now you see a bit of a rotation coming through. It looks like they want to drop down and maybe go for the Shatter. It looks like they're going to use it and they don't actually catch anyone. They get stunned up. What on earth is that? And now the bomb will be invested as well to try and kill someone off, but it's just the DPS that are doing all the work anyway, as what it gets into the back and manages to take it down Funex and will pop that Primal Rage to get a couple more kills off here, de-meching the enemy Diva, and somehow Monarch win that team fight despite a nice Shatter cancel.
That was a beautiful Shatter cancel. I was kind of worried there for a second, but now you're down to 15 seconds for Galaxy. So this is the last fight, and they're close to some of their ultimates. It's just a matter of if they're going to get them online before this EMP comes out.
Yeah, that EMP is going to be very crucial in this next team fight here as Monarch. They just want to play consistently and wait for their opportunity to go in, and this should be it. What, it's going to have so much cleave damage coming through. Recoup doesn't find anything with a high noon, and Jobydong just goes in there, just very aggressive, gets the pin off onto Andrew, and now the EMP comes through. Tomfin catches 2 members. One of those is Airtrek, who, well, can't help anyone when they have no heal aura to keep them up. And a very, very nice stabilization on the second point, ending off the overtime there for Monarch.
Yeah, and it was looking a little dicey there for a second for Monarch, because you go back to that fight where they used all of their ultimates just to end up losing that fight, but they stabilize, they get that point B hold, and now they're in a very good position. But remember, we've seen point A holds on Havana before, but Monarch looked very good on that defense.
Absolutely. Monarch really shone after that first point. You know, you saw that really weird Rhine Monkey kind of Sombra composition come through. And I was kind of questioning it until they made it work on second point, and maybe that was their point all along.
Yeah, exactly. And now for... excuse me, now for Monarch, the question is, what are you going to come out with on offense? I'm really about to see...
no.
And this is the exact same. I hopefully we don't see this Bastion come out. Like Tomathan's gonna change this pick,
God.
right?
Shund. You said that this might happen in the next game with Momentum playing. I think Monarch are a little bit ahead of their time right now. What on earth is this? They're playing the Sombra Bastion, not Sombra Bastion, the Sim Bastion even, that you literally mentioned to me pre-cast as a precursor to this.
Yeah, and remember the thing with Bastion is you have that turret form and you can move while shooting, but he's not very mobile. So with the comp that Galaxy is running, the May and everything else, you could have the possibility of this game frozen up and this pick not working.
Well, they're going to play on the far side, so they're able to at least get some spam in before Galaxy can really make that distance happen. And look at that TP onto the high ground as well, up on top of the sign. Going to force out the Immortality and even maybe take out the Baptista early on. This maneuverability is so amazing for a Bastion to have. I mean, what do you do if you're Galaxy? They're just getting shredded to pieces right now. They do manage to take down Jobydong, but what does it matter when Tomathan's here with just all the damage that you need? So much of that coming through. Bastion go burr, by the way.
Bastion do go burr, and I was questioning that pick for a second, but Monarch making it work now and already halfway to tank configuration. I gotta say, that TP was huge. They're making the Bastion work.
Yeah, and that's what we saw, in fact, last week from Momentum, so I'm glad it's being honored here by Monarch. And this is a nice TP as well, right? Having this high ground for the Bastion.
Yeah, exactly. And when the Bastion's up here with the shield, I mean, there's not much you can do. I mean, that Bastion just fucking... Look at this. They've got the Amp Matrix. Oh, no. I mean, this is just the kill zone right here. Funex goes down. The Bastion with an Amp Matrix. And now the Hanzo. I mean, my goodness.
This is just disgusting here, Shund. I mean, there's just picks going constantly here for Monarch, and who's going to contest the point for Galaxy? No one can even close distance onto it. You see Super try, but they're just going to get demacked in an instant, and Tomathan has another teleport that they can use to get back and forth out of the way, but you don't even need the TP here. You can just sit here and press mouse 1.
I mean, yeah, there's really nothing you can do. I mean, if a Bastion's just firing away on the ledge like that, you can't get up there. And with that, they have point A, and they're about to have their configuration tank. They're going to have Simlaw, and they're going to have Flux. Oh boy, this is looking good for Monarch.
It absolutely is, and given that they're only about 50 meters away from making it to that golden box of victory, this has done very well for them as a strategy. And now you'll see a TP Bastion ultimate that's going to get slammed up by Funex. That is a very, very suicidal play, I'll tell you that much, but somehow Funex doesn't go down. Instead of Super taking down Jobydong, and this is at least going both ways, as you see Alta end up falling on the Cowboy there, and what it will invest, Gravitic Flux actually manages to catch the Baptiste with it. This could be huge as it's starting to get to that golden box, and what is just dealing all the damage that you need out of your Sigma. Mactruck does go a little bit too aggressive there in the front line, and Galaxy, they're still strewn across the map. But is that a stun onto the beat? Oh my lord, what is happening right now? There's so many ultimate stuns in this map. That is just an L, and you see what it say in chat there as well. Super's gonna get killed off in the Baby Diva form here, and this should be all she wrote for this one. Monarch just have to do the cleanup duties.
Monarch just made this point look easy. The Dragon's going to come in late, but it's not going to matter. Monarch taking map 1 with some unconventional plays. Who knew the Bastion would be doing work?
Yeah. That's all I can say. Yeah, I mean, Bastion is something that you see in like gold games when people are like desperate to try and win, but to see it here 2 weeks in a row in A-League, it is insanity. And you know, the play of the game goes to Recurve here on the Cowboy, but I honestly think Monarch just deserved the like any play of the game there because they played that kind of Chad Bastion comp.
Yeah, and especially when you combine it with the amplification matrix, I mean, there's really almost nothing you can do. Bastion will just mow people down at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so insane to have to deal with there, especially on Havana, where there's a lot of long sightlines that the Bastion can TP between. Like, it's a rancid strategy, and somehow Monarch found it out in their scrims or in comp, maybe? Maybe they found that from comp, who knows?
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what the decision was on that Bastion pick, but either way, they made it work and they get the map W. So, our next map is Volskaya, and I'm very curious to see if they dare pull the Bastion out for Volskaya.
I wouldn't be surprised. There's that set play you can play on point A where you just sit there and TP your Bastion from high ground to high ground, and it's very hard to break as an attacker unless you have insane synergy, which Galaxy, they've looked a little bit disjointed so far, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Monarch try that Bastion composition on Volskaya.
Yeah, and I think this goes back to... I think at this point we're starting to see teams solidify more and more what they want to run, but you still see that hint of experimentation, a very map-dependent experimentation. And for Havana there, Monarch, they made the Bastion work there.
Yeah, and I mean, how they did it, I have no idea. All you have to do there if you're Galaxy is just out-rotate them and get into the front line before the Bastion can deal the damage, but I guess that's just too hard of a concept for these players to grasp, especially when you're at least against a team of this caliber, like Monarch, that knows what you're going to try to do to circumvent it, and therefore can counterplay that really well.
And I'm curious, if the Bastion does come out here on Volskaya, I'm interested to see what Galaxy can do to possibly counteract it, if we do see it on, excuse me, if we do see it on Volskaya.
Yeah, and we have had a little bit of a substitution coming through here, actually. So Drams is going to be put in on main tank. I believe that's for Monarch, and Spooky Ghost will be moved to main support. So a little bit of a role swap, I believe, for Drams. And then Spooky Ghost is coming in for a main support map, which I'm assuming could be Mercy Brig, something like that on Volskaya.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Monarch are going to run with these substitutions. Drams, he did do some quiet work on Havana, but moving over to the main tank, I'm excited to see what he does here, especially on Assault. And that was another thing I was going to bring up, is this is the first time this season teams are seeing Assault maps, so I wonder kind of what the thought process is, or if the teams have to try and do something different, and now that this is the first time we're seeing Assault.
Yeah, potentially, and I kind of want to theorize for a second here, because I don't think Monarch are going to play the Bastion composition again. I think Galaxy have an opportunity to counterplay that, as we hear of another substitution here as well. I believe this is for Galaxy, so Infinity is going to be in an off-tank, replacing Super, and then Sleeping is going to be on main support, replacing Airtrek. So just a little bit of information for you, but back to the point, I don't think Monarch are going to play the Bastion comp here. I think Galaxy now know how to outplay that. I think the Monarch just come out with just a basic composition, force Galaxy into an uncomfortable composition to counter that they were planning to counter the Bastion with, and then just roll them over.
Yeah, and that was another thing I was going to mention, is at some point teams will, if you start to run the same thing over and over again, teams will eventually figure you out. So that's why you have to have that adaptation. So we'll see if that adaptation comes along here on Volskaya. But Monarch, I have to say, they look good so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And Galaxy, they've had some shining moments. They've had some team fights where perhaps Recurve has carried them through, or they've had a very nice set play, but generally Galaxy, they need to step up the tempo, they need to step up their synergy as well. It doesn't seem like they know at all what they want to do against Monarch, and Volskaya could be where that turns around. It's a significantly different map type to Havana.
Yeah, exactly. And you only have the 2 points. You're not pushing a payload or anything like that. So I think Galaxy may be able to turn it around here, but we'll have to see what they run. So coming up to Volskaya now, taking a look at some of these comps. How about the Wrecking Ball Roadhog for Galaxy?
I mean, okay. If I recall from the last series, like the one before this one, we saw Hog Zarya at some point. But whether Hog Bull is the play, you can debate that all you want.
Yeah, I wonder if they will change off this before the timer runs out. But it'll be interesting to see if they do come out on this, because you have no Wrecking Ball and Roadhog, no shields.
Monarch? What are they doing? They're spawn camping on Volskaya? Is this an ego play? Excuse me? They're just going to give up point control. Galaxy, if they just rotate straight over there, realize that the spawn camp is happening, they can just go straight to the point, and now Galaxy are going to have to be the ones defending, and Monarch are going to be attacking? What on earth is happening here? They'll get the anti-through though, it'll catch Andrew, and Andrew will end up falling on the rotate. What a 5-head play coming through. They'll give up a tick for it, but they've guaranteed themselves a teamfight win. If they can convert this one through, I mean, Monarch, they've got the positioning. Mac is coming in with a little bit of damage, trying to force away Recurve on the Echo there. But Recurve isn't much of a threat without Andrew there to keep the front line up. I mean, look at the damage coming through. But Recurve somehow takes down Spooky Ghosts, and this is... It's very up in the air, but I think Galaxy are actually going to end up falling here.
That was such a 5-head play, and what that reminds me of is literally just saw it the last match, that point B to point C transition on Havana, where the offense literally became the defense. That's exactly what Monarch just pulled there, and they did give up a tick, but it worked.
Yeah, and it worked wonders. I mean, if you can catch Andrew on the rotate like that, I mean, that's all the healing gone. That's all the nano boost charge gone as well. It's very hard to play there. Now the anti-nade will come through onto Wadit, so Andrew's making an impact immediately after they're not taken down first in the team fight. Recurve's going to come through as well, has that duplication if they want to use it in this team fight, but they're going to burst down Smart in the middle of that nano boost. That was a little bit too late from Super Smooth, and now a duplication onto the Genji. The Ego Duel coming through here from Recurve, trying to make something work. Won't be able to build up that blade and actually gets hacked out of it, but they can just get away freely. And Galaxy will have to back up and give a little bit of space up.
Oh man, I would have loved to see the Genji Ego Duel there, but either way, Monarch, hold on. Still only giving up only 42% here, so really good defense so far from Monarch, and they're going to have some big ultimates coming online here. They got that blade, they have the Shatter coming up soon, and they have the Rally coming up as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and that rally is going to be very important here because you've got, Funex who can deal a lot of damage with the mines in close quarters, as well as just a very aggressive Recurve who can just get in there and deal damage, so that rally will be important. But now it'll be the blade coming out from Mac Truck. They come around the side, get Andrew first yet again, gonna go for the Diva Mech, why not, it's a very important target. Lasmar has fallen first yet again. It seems like Monarch just love to let Drams die, and now that drop will come through onto Recurve, I believe hacked up there, if I'm not mistaken, and Matchup's going to come for the cleanup as well onto this high ground, take down the Baby Diva, or at least try to, anyway, and it should be an easy cleanup, but Alta's going to get the one clip onto Mac Truck, and with all this POS happening into the backline, it's actually drawing attention from the point. Funex will end up falling. Wadit is alone on point, but somehow doesn't die there.
That was pretty close to Monarch, but they do get the cleanup, and this EMP only catches one. That's kind of maybe a questionable EMP there, but Galaxy, well, I was about to say they have 5 volts, Recurve goes down, but for this, yeah, but in a sense, this is good for Galaxy, because now you can reset, and look at this ult bank. They are about to come up on 6 ultimates for Galaxy. This will be really bad if they don't win this fight.
Yeah, they need to at least have some sort of teamfight plan here. Of course, it can get chaotic in comms when you have so many ultimates that can be used on both sides even. But Galaxy, they need to have a defined plan of how to break into this, as now you'll see the mines come through onto the point, so that'll give some space over to perhaps the flankers who want to pressure out Super Smooth and Spooky Ghosts, but instead it's going to be Infinity going down solo, actually has to be nanoed up, I believe, to keep him up. Ulta's going to fall, but traded out for Mac Truck. Drams is just here on the point low, completely uncontested, going to swing into the opposition, and with like 5 seconds remaining, Galaxy have to come up with a clutch play. They've used 5 of their ultimates. Recurve falls right as they have the duplication, and it just looks like Galaxy are on the back foot. Ulta's gonna fall for the second time, and Monarch, they are looking amazing right now.
That was an unbelievable fight from Monarch. Galaxy used everything but their duplicate here, and now it's just going to be the cleanup coming in. Funex does go down. Recurve does have that dupe, but I don't think it's really going to matter here. Overtime ticks down, and what a hold from Monarch. They give up that tick on the initial entry, but that is a wonderful defense.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about how these would be, you know, good banger series earlier on, right? Squall even mentioned it, how they were excited for all the games coming up. I mean, this wasn't even a game. This is just a very quick 2-0 setting records here. I mean, come on. What a full hold from Monarch, and Galaxy, they've got to bite back and full hold on their own without giving up a tick. I mean, okay, it's around 40%, but it's still a tick, right? If you, like, in essence, and that is hard to hold on to if you're Galaxy, especially in the state they're in.
Yeah, I mean, Galaxy. I don't know what exactly it is that's going on, but they, for lack of a better word, they just look lost. It looks like they don't know how to counter what Monarch is running, and Monarch's just running all over them. And yeah, I mean, this could be a very fast 2-0.
What are these compositions, Sean? Save me, please.
Oh my
we've
word.
we've got double hit scan, Rissar Hog, Ryan Hog with a Brig. Explain this to me, please. Where's the sense? What is the reasoning?
I don't know. Whoever wins this match, I'm gonna have to ask him exactly what they're thinking.
Is Recurve gonna be there in time? What?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah,
he sat there for like 30 seconds debating on Doom Crystal Soldier.
If Monarch realizes this, they have a free 6v5, but I think Recurve may get back in time.
Just about, but can Waddick even like just go right side and hook him? I mean, no, they're not going to, but I mean, that could have been a tragedy if Recurve wasn't able to get back in time. To see the immediate point presence come through from Tomathan on the Sombra here, just wants to force everyone back. Recurve's on the flank, locking the legs and just hard flanking here. I mean, I suppose it works out, especially since they've heard the Translocator from Tomathan. They can force them away if they really want to. Hook attempt comes through there from Infinity, but nothing going to be gained from that. Instead, it's a very, very Chad pin coming through from Drams right into the core of the enemy. Recurve's going to get taken down in the door from Tomathan. A flank from Waddick here on the Hog, and actually gets away with it as well. Ulta will end up falling on the Cowboy here. It's going to be read straight up by Andrew, and Recurve will end up, you know, returning pretty shortly, but I mean, it's still point presence over here for Monarch. They've got all they need to try and make this one work. A brilliant hook comes through there. It's going to catch onto Infinity, forces out the take a breather, and even though Spooky Ghost does fall, there's still point presence here for Monarch, and they'll use the Nano Boost onto Drams on the right now here. They can just go in like a Chad and swing in alongside Smack Truck, who's just going insane with the blade right now. Takes down Funex there, and is looking for the Soldier as well. It's looking like it's over here for Galaxy. I mean, what can they do? They've got a whole hog forcing everyone away from the point, and it looks like Andrew's going to pull out the Glock and turn the tides for Galaxy.
Oh my word! I thought Monarch had that fight dead to rights, but the McCree coming in doing work, and Galaxy, they might be able to stabilize here. But that looked close for a second.
And they'll get the stagger onto Mag Truck as well, if they can. I mean, if they can get the kill, which they won't, but forces them away a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah, and they've already taken a couple minutes off this clock, so I don't want to like get ahead of myself. But as I say that, Recurve goes down. So
it's
that's
always Recurve. It is always Recurve falling first here, and now Tomathan can just get into position with this EMP. They're right in the middle of the point, ready to EMP the engage. A brilliant one comes through onto both of the tank line. Alta's going to try and turn things around, but nothing's going to be gained there. The High Noon finds absolutely nothing, and it's basically over here for Galaxy. The players are falling one by one, and Monarch set a very, very fast win coming through here against Galaxy, going 2-0 in the standings, and they're going to be happy after today, given the dominance that they just put up.
Yeah, and that's exactly the word I would use, is dominance. I mean, there's no other way to put it. That was a complete domination by Monarch. I mean, they just looked clean throughout the entire match. Yeah, give it up to Monarch. They had a plan. They came in and they executed, and now they're 2-0 and they're looking good.
Yeah, absolutely, and I believe we're welcoming back Squall as well for some, I guess, post-game analysis, because, I mean, there wasn't really much to analyze other than the dominance that was coming through there, right?
Yeah, that was. Man, every game has defied expectations today. I have expected them to be closer than they were, but they've still been intense showings by far. And it looks like we have just about the entire team of Monarch wanting to do interviews. We have just about the entire roster from Monarch here to do some interviews here in a second, perhaps. I don't know if they're narrowing it down or if they're just giving us time to prepare our ears for the many voices we're about to hear.
It'll be chaos, to say the least, and I don't think we're going to get all of them, unless we are, in which case, yeah, okay, we're getting a lot of them.
No, we've just got 3. So we've got Spooky Ghost, Tomathan, and Mr. Drams here with us. So congratulations on your win, you guys. How are you feeling?
Feeling large.
We're feeling massive.
Huge.
So I'm gonna go ahead and ask the first question. Were you on your offense on Havana? What did you guys plan to use that Bastion strat? Because you guys worked it to perfection. I'll say that.
Yup. Just like in scrims, thought it up today in warm up, and we warmed up with it twice, the 2 rounds. Big thanks to Vengeance for the big warm up. It was huge. Ideal.
Oh, it most certainly worked.
It was an excellent strategy, to be fair, and it had me just absolutely creasing. I mean, me and Shun had no idea what was going on, and I mean, Galaxy, they were the ones that kind of just didn't know how to deal with it, but you guys did amazingly there. Props to you.
Thank you. Ugh.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask. Go ahead.
Best Prime BPL.
Real. And Lucio, bro, you hit them both.
You're just hitting all of the notes here. I wanted to ask, coming into this game, did you think it would be closer than it was, or did you just have that large, huge attitude coming into it and you expected to 2-0 this?
LH, Cloudy, Lastro, all of it. Every single one.
We did not think it would go to map 3. No map 3 is gonna come out. Yeah.
Good mindset to have.
It's always nice to believe in yourself and just come in with that big attitude of, this is our map and we win this game. All right. Do either of you have any other questions for Monarch? I don't know.
I want to ask. I can't remember if this was Drams or if this was the other main sport player for Monarch. Want to talk about that beat cancel, or was that Galaxy's beat? I can't remember.
That was Galaxy's beat.
I know we canceled Galaxy's beat.
Let's talk about that then. How did that transpire?
I think it was. I don't even know who was on Sigma at the time. It was on Havana, yeah.
Yeah, Havana.
Yeah, I don't know. We were just cleaning up the fight. There was a rock. There was a rocking call out. Yeah, right button at the right time. They hit the wrong button at the wrong time. I don't know. Not much else to say about it.
I think what I'm thinking of here that you got cancelled was that Shatter on Havana, if I'm not mistaken. I think someone had a Shatter cancelled on Havana.
I
think it was you.
Know.
There's so much going on, it's kind of hard
there was
to...
It is hard
All I know was I was on Lucio and I pressed the E key a lot. And I ran it down.
I was just worried about the TP cooldowns.
Exactly.
If it works, it works.
Yeah, whatever works. Alright, do anybody have any other questions before we wrap this up real quick?
No, not for me.
Not for me.
Alright. Well, congratulations on your win, Monarch. You are now 2-0. You join Summit in the ranks of being 2-0 on your record now. So, congratulations to you guys. You guys are down 1 map in the map differential, but you are up there ahead of Slop. So, you are solidly in 2nd place right now. So, congratulations on your big win today, guys. And thank you for coming to join us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Alright. I think we're either still slightly behind schedule or we've more so caught up. But either way, we have another banger of a match coming up next. If I could remember which one it was.
Ruination Momentum?
Yeah, that one. You remember. So yeah, Ruination and Momentum coming up next. So we're just gonna take a quick break, and we will be back shortly. Don't go anywhere.
BPL Season 3 is brought to you by Bagcliff is a proud sponsor of BPL and of late night Taco Bell runs. We're an apparel brand raised in escape vibes and weird rides. We make cool stuff and even cooler stuff with creative people. Our items are always sporadic and always quality. No knockoff lame stuff here. We take our time and don't release anything until we're completely happy with it. So check out our sizzling pizza collection and our 2 spicy collabs with Basically I Do Work and Trevor May. And since this is an ad read, we should tell you that you should go to bagcliff.com or tweet a taco gif at us at bagcliffbrand.
the crowd, but I only see your face in all the lights. And as the bass keep pounding on me, babe.
Welcome everybody. Hello. Welcome back to BPL Season 3, Week 2. We've got our third match of the evening. We have Momentum going up against Ruination. I am MFG, joined today by Peripheral and Shunned Lizard. Are you guys excited?
I was excited for my my camera gimmick, but I forgot that the box is a square, so that's dead now. But I can still make it work. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty excited to see these two teams. I know Momentum has SBT, who's a figure in both League 0 and BPL, who's a bit of a veteran. Ruination as well have a lot of BPL community members. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these two teams match up, as they're both 1-0. So they're both naturally near the top of the standings.
It is going to be such a great match to see because, yeah, they are undefeated so far, so they are definitely going to be fighting tooth and nail to remain undefeated and join the other teams who made it into the top standings over the previous 2 days. Shunned, are you thinking that one team is going to take this over the other, or do you think this is going to be a pretty balanced match?
Just looking at what both teams did last week, I would say they are just about pretty evenly matched, but one side that I'm going to keep my eye on is Momentum, and especially that tank line of Jack and Jordan. I mean, they, for lack of a better phrase, they did work last week against Cowabunga. They look absolutely impressive, and I'm excited to see what they can do here. But yeah, like you said, Ruination also looked really good last week. So I'm excited to see. Hopefully, we see more craziness like we did in this match just now.
We love to see the big crazy.
Everybody, I mean, that last match had plenty of it, with the Bastion strats and recurves crippling indecision. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we see more of the same. I mean, maybe not the creative, quote unquote creativity, but more interesting strategies, more teams playing to their players' comfort picks. As in my opinion, that does create a more enjoyable viewing experience, and overall it's just more fun to watch and fun for the players, I'd assume. They're not in here, insert hero here jail.
Plus it's also interesting to see, like, when you see these surprise strats, how the team on the other side is able to adapt to it. Like Galaxy, they didn't know what to do with that Bastion strat, and it showed. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
That is definitely true.
I mean, Bastion's you don't see it often in pro play for obvious reasons, or in like structured play for obvious reasons. But I think it's counterable. It just requires adaptability, which I don't know. Adaptability is kind of like adaptability on the fly. It requires synergy. It requires your team to have good cohesion, and also it requires that one decisive IGL who can make those mid map calls to switch onto a maybe throw the previous plan that they had out the window and just switch to something else entirely, which it takes balls. It takes a lot of faith in your team to be able to work past that. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these teams capitalize like that.
You guys seem very confident in each of these teams' synergies and play styles based on what we've seen before. So considering that our first map of the day is going to be heading in to Dorado, who do you think is going to have an easier time here based on the preferred compositions of these two teams?
To be honest, I haven't actually seen either of these two teams. I do know Sage does like to play the hit scan, though. He's a very competent hit scan. I have played against him a few times. So Ruination will likely be favoring the dive with the Soul hit scan, the Ash, Widow, Kree, whatever it would be. Off of that, I think Ruination will definitely look to set the tempo here early if they're on attack. But yeah, I think these two teams are a fairly even matchup, so it'll be interesting. I think it's going to come down to which team has built up the most synergy, has players that are the more in sync with one another. And overall, I think it's just going to be those team-wide, the team-wide differences that will ultimately decide the winner of this map, and ultimately this match as well.
Yeah, and one of the things, what I saw last week, I know Momentum ran a lot of that double shield last week with the Rhine Sigma, so I'm interested to see if that's something they run here on Dorado, or if they go to something different to try and mirror Ruination's comp.
Seems like there are a lot of open strategies for these two teams, and I am very excited to see that once we get rolling into the game after the lobby's all sorted. It'll be a fun match. I'm hoping to see a fun one. But in terms of Preds, who do you think is going to take it all the way, whether if it's a 2-1 or a 2-0?
I don't have a coin to flip, so hang on, let me... coin flip. I haven't... I don't know. Based off of Overwatch Rock, Paper, Scissors, I mean, I'd initially think that Ruination would have the advantage if they do spot out that advantage and play the dive. But we will see. My coin flip did give tails.
We could do rock, paper, scissors right now if you want. Literally right now.
I mean, I was talking more about the compositional matchup, rock, paper, scissors. But I mean, sure.
I could be Momentum. You could be Ruination. All right.
Yeah. 1-on-1. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Right.
Shoot. Yes. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I got scissors. Wait. Scissors.
Oh no. We can go again.
Okay. Rock,
paper, scissors. Shoot.
Oh, scissors!
No! Okay, I'm ready Momentum to win. Momentum, best team in A-League. They're taking it all. Heard it here first.
Sean, do you agree with us, or are you going to take the side of Ruination on this one?
I am actually kind of leaning towards Momentum. Just again, this is just based off what I saw from them last week. They looked really synergized, but so did Ruination. And it could come down to a literal coin flip. I could easily see this going 3 maps if what I think will happen is true, and both of these teams are very evenly matched.
Well, all these what ifs, who's, what's, when, where's will be answered soon. Soon. Yay.
Soon TM, yes.
Okay, well here's a little blip, I guess. Speaking in Overwatch news, Halloween Terror is coming up soon. And if you've checked Overwatch's Twitter, they have released 2 of the early skins. And in my opinion, I think the Roadhog one is actually scary. Genuinely, it freaks me out.
It gives me Pennywise vibes. I can't tell if that's good or bad.
Yeah, that Roadhog one will give me nightmares, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. It's one of those.
Scary. Who do you think's gonna get a skin besides Roadhog and Reinhardt? Those are the 2 that have been revealed.
I know Moira got a Halloween skin already. Maybe she'll get another one. I'm not sure.
I would like to see maybe Echo get one.
Echo got one last year, so I'm not sure.
What are you guys gonna be for Halloween this year? Chat, feel free to also answer the question. Shund, what are you gonna be? What are you gonna be, Shund?
I don't know. I haven't planned that far in advance yet. But since I am a Boston fan, I could just wear my jersey and dress up as a poverty franchise.
No. You gotta be. That's Valiant fan hours.
Oh.
It's. So.
Just a little quip. We're just waiting on a couple of players, and here they are.
Oh yeah, we're in.
Take it away.
Okay, so I don't know if I'm at liberty to say this, but SPT's alt account name is a bit creative. I will not lie. Anyway, we're gonna see these. We're gonna see the Momentum rolling out on the dive composition. A bit of a switch from their double shield. That Shund Lizard did say they like playing. I hope Ruination doesn't stay on this comp because I despise it with all of the willpower in my body. I mean, that's not much. I am very susceptible to temptation. But anyway, we're gonna see the Momentum running the Dallas Fuel Kings Row comp with the Lucio Ana backline. It's sort of a hybrid of the 6-man and the dive styles of Overwatch, where the 6-man likes to play more like a brawl. But we're gonna see Ruination actually rolling out on the Hog Sig with Sage on Tracer and Monica on Hanzo. A bit of a variation off of the double sniper that we saw in Season 3 finals. We're looking Green Bean and a Higa. Oh well, okay. TH3E, I'm not sure how you say that. I'm gonna say the is already gone down, gets caught out of position by the Roadhog. Romod's also been hooked. Green Bean getting a lot of value here with the Hog Hook. Sage will finish that kill off, and Jordan going down just means that Ruination's gonna be able to take a fairly easy fight.
Yeah, the Roadhog certainly doing work, and another hook from Green Bean getting the supports. I mean that Roadhog just doing work so far. Good stuff from Ruination.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to be able to push past this bridge, which is going to make it a lot harder for Momentum to play the poke here. They're now... The is now on Zen, so a bit of a creative support line choice coming out here. We'll see if it works, because they're going to be playing for the Nano Blade. Vamp's already gone down at the hands of Green Bean, who's getting fairly close to this whole hog. Kylo Ren gets a kill, but Romod goes down at the hands of Monica. The gets Sage, though, potentially closing off the flank option. He takes out SBT though, meaning that it's just V for heals, and he won't be able to provide very much of him as he's on the Zenyatta. V goes down himself, so that now they have no heals. Ruination probably takes the fight here. They will do so as I believe it's just one person. It's just Kylo Ren to touch here. Green Bean will have his whole hog coming up. I doubt he'll elect to use it though. And Ruination are going to be able to cap this first point fairly swiftly and fairly painlessly.
Yeah, and those are the keywords right there. I mean, the Ruination just made that look easy, and now they've got some of their key ultimates coming online. You're going to have a Dragon to split here. You'll have the whole hog and the Nano, but you also got that Nano Blade on the side Momentum, so we got an even fight here.
Yeah, I mean, I did just learn that Green Bean is actually Distortion, so... Yeah, I wasn't sure who he was previously, but there he is, Distortion going for another flank hook. He's going to catch out Jordan, but Jordan's going to be able to get out with the help of the Diva boosters. And the Nano Blade engage from Momentum's gonna come out. Kylo Ren's... He's already taken out 3! He's gotten 4! Kylo Ren with the Nano Blade. Dishonest Overwatch right here, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, our non-binary pals. Yeah, Momentum, they take the fight with the Nano Blade. They're just gonna win it for free. And it's just... I mean it's just such an easy fight when you can just let Kylo Ren play like that.
Yeah, and that was just a great set play there. 4-man Nano Blade, I mean, there's not much you can do about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see the engage from Ruination coming out. Vamp's from Momentum coming out. Vamp's gonna use the Pulse Bomb, it's not gonna get anything. The Nano comes out from Lilum onto, I believe that is... Monarch. Is that? No, that's... I don't even know who the Nano went onto. Anyway, Vamp takes out Monica, so Momentum will have the main advantage here. Vamp's trying to engage onto Lilum, but will be forced to back out. V goes down to the hands of Sage. The bomb comes out, doesn't get anything. Jordan's instantly demected upon returning, and Ahigo's gonna take him out. So Momentum are just gonna have to retreat here and regroup and play for this next fight.
Yeah, and you look at the ult bank Momentum, they're only coming up on a Pulse Bomb, and that's it. Ruination has 2 of their key ults. They have their Pulse Bomb, but they also have the Rally for the sustain. So if things get dire, Flaws can pop that Rally.
Yeah, I mean, Ruination's pretty much already won this fight off of Distortion and Sage getting picks, especially with Sage's Pulse Bomb onto Romod, pretty much ruining any chance Momentum has of taking the engage there. And Ruination, they're going to cap the second point.
And this is a fast time from Ruination too. They're looking at 4 minutes plus to finish this map, so they're looking really good. And now CBT goes down.
SBT, no. Should have stayed on Gay Kid on God, man. This is smart. This is.
Pulse Bomb does get flaws, but I don't think that will.
It's not gonna matter. Ruination still has the man advantage. They still have the They still have the he goes on Diva. He has been for a while. I didn't notice that. I guess just to contest the high ground here on Dorado, especially that it's the fact that it's on Dorado, which is a map with significant high ground where you do want to take control. The bomb from he's gonna go in. It's gonna take out 2. It's gonna take the and Vamp off the field. Romod's just forced to back out as he's very low. Sage is gonna be able to play for free. Kylo Ren's gonna go in for a Nano Blade on the back line. He's gonna get 1. He's gonna get hooked and he's probably gonna die here. He gets flaws though and he gets out. So now Ruination has no support line and Sage goes down. Kylo Ren's Nano Blade goes huge here, and Ruination potentially they might have lost this fight off of that Nano Blade.
Yeah, that Nano Blade basically saving the fight there for Momentum. Now this is just a reset coming in for Ruination as Romad gets 2. But Ruination, they have the ultimates necessary to complete this. They'll have 4 ults, but Momentum coming up on that Pulse, Primal, and they'll have the Graviton Surge here for this next fight.
Yeah, I mean, Momentum, Kylo Ren switches off to the Genji here, he's onto the Mei now, as is SBT onto the BAP, so I guess they want to play more of a brawl style once Jordan on the Zarya and Romad on the Monkey switch off. The Dragon's gonna come out from just Monica here. It's not gonna get anything, it's just gonna be used to disrupt and to split, but Vamp's already in the backline, he's already taken out 1. Distortion's gonna use the hog ult here. He's gonna get 2, he's gonna get 3. Monica gets Jordan as well. So Ruination, they've just taken control right back. They've just said, we don't care about your tank ultimates, we don't care about your Tracer in our backline. We're just gonna W key onto you, and you're gonna suffer for it. As we're now gonna see, Ruination is probably gonna be able to complete the map here. Romad switched onto the Rhine here to stall. The Graph comes out, it's gonna catch Distortion, but he's probably gonna survive with the help of the Take a Breather. Huge anti from Lilam is going to be able to get onto a ton of people, and Jordan and CBT both go down. Distortion picks up Romad as well, and Distortion, he's just getting so much value with this hog. I don't know how he's managing to do it. He's just getting very creative flank hooks and they're playing so well off of that, and it's just letting them play for free and take so much space and use their advantages really well to snowball.
Yeah, they are, and that 3K whole hog there that Distortion had, that came off the back of a nano boost. So the whole hog is scary in and of itself, but then you add a nano boost to that, that's pretty much game over right there. But Ruination looking good, a decent time bank here, Dorado, minute 38 off the clock, on the clock I should say. So now it's up to Momentum to see if they'll be able to match.
Yeah, I mean, especially on an escort map such as Dorado, where you don't always see a team completing the map at all. 1.38 or 1 minute 38 seconds is really good, I'd say. Admittedly, there are obviously very high record times, such as those we've seen in Owl, but I mean that's Owl. That's speedrun hours at that point. It's going to be interesting to see how Momentum react here. They're on the Hog Sig comp with V and SBT on the Ana Zen backline, so maybe they want to mirror the composition that Ruination was putting out. The Ruination sticking on that same comp with Flaws on the Brig, but other than that, they're doing a very good... This is an interesting adaptation. It's going to be interesting to see how it works here, as Romad, I don't know if he is a Hog player. Vamp was getting a lot of value on the Tracer, even with his team losing a lot of fights. So, who knows, maybe if they utilize this, they can take the initiative here. Ahi switched onto the D.Va as well, and we're going to just see a lot of Momentum's core of the Sigma, the Tracer, the Hanzo looking to poke here from the high ground. SBT's already gone down though, so is Ahi, taking out Romad, and Kylo Ren going down means that Momentum, their first push is not going to go the same as Ruination's. They will not have the same success. They're going to have to retreat back to the spawn doors, regroup, and refocus their efforts.
Yeah, and I can see what Momentum's trying to do here with the hog pick. They're trying to match them in that mirror style, but Green Bean just gained Distortion, I should say. Distortion gained a lot more value from that hog so far.
Yeah, I mean, Distortion's flank hooks were very effective, especially in just catching out players and enabling the rest of his team to take space. Vamp, though, he's already taken out Ahi, who did take out SBT, but I mean, I'd say that's a worthwhile trade, as you don't really lose that much healing with SBT gone. It's more the Discord orb that you lose, and with Ahi gone to get rid of the, to provide that damage mitigation, your Tracer can just run rampant, and that's exactly what Vamp is doing, is he's taking out Sage, but Monica's going to take out V, meaning that Momentum now has no heals unless SBT's gotten back, which he has. And now we're going to see Momentum just pushing the cart. Kylo Ren takes out Monica in the Hanzo duel. Green Bean does take out Jordan though, so now it's fairly even. Distortion's already taken out SBT though. He's taking out Romad as well. Distortion is just running rampant over and over again with the Roadhog. He's getting so much value just running at their front line, or running at their back line rather, and just bursting them down. Like, because Momentum don't have the D.Va to provide the people, to provide the raw damage mitigation. And, I mean, even Ahi doesn't anymore. Even Ruination doesn't anymore, as Ahi's gonna switch to Zarya just to enable the Hog. Just to play with those bubbles to let the Hog take space and play off of that. And there he is! Distortion! He's already taken out Kylo Ren again! It's just every fight he's getting the early picks with the hooks.
This is amazing how much value Distortion is getting with this Hog. It's almost unbelievable. Like, and you said it, he's just running rampant with this Hog.
I mean, Sage invests the Pulse Bomb there. I mean, he doesn't get anything, but he doesn't need to. He's disrupted the supports briefly. And now they're taking this rotation across the high ground. There is, again, the hook from Distortion, but he won't be able to finish the kill. Vamp takes out Sage, and Romod this time wins the Hog Duel. SPT's taking out Flaws, but he will fall out of the hands of just Monica, who will go down. Kylo Ren goes huge, taking out Lylum, and now it's just Ahi to stall the point. Jordan's wasted the Flux, but it doesn't matter. Momentum will, at long last, they will cap up this first point, but at what cost?
Well, man, these Hogs are doing work right now, but Distortion more so. I mean, I don't play Hog that much, but this is pretty impressive so far. What they're doing and being able to make this Hog work. And now, to make matters worse for Momentum, they're coming up on a Graviton Surge too. This could be trouble for Momentum.
Yeah, I mean, there are Ruinations at risk of just having their momentum completely stop. Well, Sage goes down at the hands of Vamp. They get a very good sleep from V, which will enable that. And now, Momentum's just going to play to take the high ground here. Jordan's solo stalling card. Vamp takes out Monica, though, meaning that Ruination now has no DPS line. Flaws goes down, and this is a very good fight for Momentum. You're in a great position here to take out the just snowball. And Ruination's Hog ultimate goes to...
My goodness, man, Momentum, they're starting to make this work now. I think they're starting to find their legs a little bit here, and that was a great fight so far.
You could you could say they're gaining momentum. Yeah, Romod, he's gonna go for the hog hook here. He's gonna force out the bubble from Ahi, but he's not gonna get the hook off. He's not gonna get the disruption. He's not gonna force the peel out from Ruination or the cooldowns, which is probably the most important part of that. Ahi's gonna fight on the low ground with the Graviton. He's gonna get a lot of value, and he catches the whole team. He forces out Transcendence as well from SPT. The Dragons from just Monica looking to combo here. It won't get anything as SPT's Transcendence was very, very well timed. Distortion will take out Romod though in a Hog Mirror, and as well as V. He's just running rampant. Again, Sage is enabled so much by this, by Distortion just running at the backline, running down the front line and the backline simultaneously. And that enables Sage to just play in their backline, just create so much disruption in that perfect storm for Ruination, really.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just, again, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's just amazing to see what Ruination can do here. Just when you have a hog just straight running at you, that creates all kinds of problems and distractions that allow the DPS to get in there and take advantage and get that backline.
Yeah, I mean, Momentum, they're going to look to take this high ground here, but you have to be wary of Sage here. That's what Jordan is trying to scout for Sage here. The Nano Monkey engage onto Romod's going to go in. They're just going to look to get picks. The Nano onto the Hanzo is going to enable him to survive. And in the meantime, SPT's gone down again. Distortion. He's just vibing by himself. Romod gets slept, and it's falling apart for Momentum even as they take out Ahi. Because Sage has already taken out V, so a lot of the healing on the field on the side of Momentum goes down. Vamp does take out Distortion, and Jordan takes out Sage though, proving that Sage's inability to run rampant does hurt Ruination a lot. As now Vamp and Jordan are just touching the card. Jordan gets demeched, and it's just Romod and Vamp on card. Vamp's looking to get value in the backline. He won't do so though. Sage takes him out. Jordan falls at the hands of Flaws, and Ruination, they're holding on. One more fight. It's now, there's 30 seconds left on the clock, and, I mean, it's do or die now for Momentum, really.
Yeah, this is absolutely the last fight. Ruination going to have 3 ults coming online. Momentum, they're about to have possibly 5 if they can get that trans online. It's going to come down to whether they can get that Transcendence online.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. The Dragons from Just Monica are going to be invested, or Kylo Ren, rather, are going to be invested. The Primal from Romod takes out Ahi. The Bomb from Jordan comes out, doesn't get anything. It's going for displacement. SPT goes down. Another huge hook from Distortion. He just cannot miss with these. Monica's getting hunted down by Romod, but he will survive for the time being. He will have the Dragons as well, potentially get a kill. SPT's Transcendence comes out, and Momentum, they've turned this fight. Kylo Ren and Vamp taking out their opposite numbers each is gonna be huge. But Distortion, he's got the Nano invested on him, and he's taking matters into his own hands. He's taking out SPT, he's taking out the Romod with the Flux, and this fight could go any way. But Flaws, he's taking out Kylo Ren, a lot of the damage down, and now Ruination, they've turned this fight from seemingly nothing, from seemingly a lost fight. They've somehow done it again. Distortion again going huge with the Roadhog, with the hook. He does it again and again. I don't understand how he's doing it, but Ruination, they're gonna cap the first, they're gonna take the first map off of the back of Distortion's Hog, off of the back of Sage, playing off of Distortion. And I mean, what a map that was. What a crazy map.
That's probably one of the best Hog performances I've ever seen. And you were right, because we saw a lot of these hooks from Distortion being landed, and if you're just able to land hook after hook, I mean, there's not much you can do, and you're right, it creates a lot of problems, especially for that backline, who once your DPS or your tanks are gone, it just creates so many problems. So very good job there by Ruination using Distortion on that Hog, and they made it look easy.
Yeah, I mean, props to Distortion as well. He's getting so much value with the Hog hook off of those engages. It's ridiculous. And I mean, props to Sage as well. He's doing an excellent job playing off of Distortion, the value Distortion is getting, just running into the backline and getting free value. Vamp's doing a very good job of this as well. It's just that his team can't really capitalize as well because Distortion and Sage are in their backline, just getting so much more value. And we did see Jordan playing the D.Va to try and negate that as best as he could. But I mean, they weren't really able to do that, so it'll be interesting to see how Momentum adapts.
Yeah, and they're going to have to adapt quickly because we're already on match point here for Ruination, and our next map is going to be Temple of Anubis. So we're going 2CP here for
2CP.
Yes, everyone's favorite map type 2CP. But as far as
Overwatch,
I'm curious to see Temple. So with Temple of Anubis, both point A and point B, you're in really enclosed spaces, so it invites more of that dive brawly comp that we like to see with these enclosed points. So I wonder if they still go with the Hog here, or if they go more of that brawly style now that we're going into Anubis.
Yeah, I mean, my mic fell. I think Anubis first point, definitely on the defense you favor double shield. But I mean, a lot of poke based comps can work, so that includes the double bubble, that includes the dive with the one hit scan, and that includes Ruination's favorite comp, the what's it called, the Hog Sig, just enabling Distortion to play weird angles and just get value out of those, enable his team through that. And now we're gonna see, I believe it is Momentum on the defense. So you did say they like to play the double shield, they will probably do so.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned it. Point A on Anubis really favors these double shield type comps. So we'll see if they run that, and they're coming out on the, at least for right now, the Orisa D.Va. So you have that Orisa shield with the D.Va. What do you think of this comp?
Oh my god, I love this comp. Oh, well, okay. Also, I just want to point out there were a few role swaps. Bakura is, I believe, Bakura was. Okay, Flaws is out. Distortion's on main support, Karch is on DPS for Sage, and I don't remember if Bakura was in last map. I don't think they were, but Bakura's in on main tank now. And going back to the Orisa D.Va, okay, so my last Overwatch, like my last actual team, we one tricked that comp for like 3 weeks, and it was so fun. I love this comp. It will always have a special place in my heart. But basically, the way it works is. It's a jack of all. It's very much a jack of all trades and a master of none. Basically, the Baptiste and the Baptiste provides superior. The Baptiste and the Orisa and the D.Va provide superior sustain to a dive comp to outlast the dive, to outlast the damage. The Ashe, the Echo, the Baptiste, and the Orisa provide poke to counter a brawl composition, following our Lord and Savior Overwatch RPS. Rock, paper, scissors, and there it is, Kylo Ren. He gets the engage into the backline. He's just dismantled the double shield engage already. As the double shield comp wants to play like a Ruination on the double shield, they're trying to play it more like a brawl, but it doesn't really work when you can just get poked down by Kylo Ren on the flanks, by Vamp with the damage boost, by Romod and V on the Orisa and Baptiste respectively, and we see V's already got his ultimate, and there it is. He's coming out, he's pulling out the window, as is Lylan with their own ult. The lamp on the side of Ruination comes out, and V goes down, but at what cost? As Vamp and Romod get picks of their own, Distortion and Monica going down, but Jordan will get demeched by Karts. Kylo Ren's in a bit of a sticky situation, but he should be able to survive, albeit he will do so by rotating onto the off angle. Bakura dropped very low, and he's taking out Romad, but Romad will get rezzed up. Vamp's taking out cards who's flown a little bit too close to the sun, or, as may be the case, Vamp's crosshair. Distortion got very lucky. Vamp didn't take their head off there. And they will be able to get the res on the carts. The Bob from Vamp comes out, as does the duplicate from Kylo Ren. Jordan will take out Lylem. The Bob goes down almost instantly. The bongos from Bakura and Romad both come out to just overwhelm the other side's support line through raw damage, and it will work as we see Kylo Ren takes out Ahigo, and Kylo Ren himself goes down. Karts SBT has res Kylo Ren. The supercharger from Romad goes down. Karts is now coming to Orisa, and he's got a supercharger of his own. He's just forcing Momentum's tank line to brawl here, and just Monica's dragons are going to go huge. They've already built the Dragon Strike, and it's going to be able to take out... Just Monica's killed 3. Lylem takes out CBT. Ahi takes out Kylo Ren, and that is going to seal the fight in favor of Ruination. At last, they realize what their comp is meant to do. They play it like the Poke comp, and now they're going to be able to cap this first point.
My eyes needed to adjust for a second there. That seemed like a non-stop fight with kills going back and forth with Ruination. But finally, like you said, realizing what their comp is able to do, and now they have about 4.5 minutes here to get the infamous point B of Temple of Anubis.
I also want to point out that I don't necessarily think Momentum played that badly. It's just that Ruination used their ults better. Where Momentum, they did do a good job of playing to survive. And Jordan, there it is again. Jordan's bomb takes out Lylem, and Distortion goes down at the hands of Kylo Ren. Even with SBT going down, I doubt Ruination's going to be able to take this fight, as they don't have the heals, the raw poke damage, or the heals that their comp so desperately requires. And Kart's on the Tracer now. He's just going to look to make mayhem in the backline. But the brawl aspect of Momentum's comp, I think it's going to make his life very hard, or their life very hard.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a good first hold there from Momentum. And now you start to get some of these key ults online, but you still got to deal with Karts in the backline. But Momentum with a duplicate and that window, that key window here. We'll see when they use it.
We're seeing Kylo Ren engaging onto Ahi, just trying to force out the Flux, or maybe just take the Flux off the field entirely. They do have the duplicate as well. There it is, another engage. It goes huge. The damage boost stickies, so good. This is dishonest Overwatch right here. 2 have gone down, 3 have gone down, 4 have gone down, and Ruination's push just falls apart at the hands of Kylo Ren. Yeah, I could make a Star Wars reference, but I have nothing to connect it to, so...
if there is a silver lining here for Ruination, even though you did lose that team fight, you lost it very quick, so you didn't lose too much time, and now you're about to come up on 5 ults yourself versus 5 ults for Momentum. So we're about to see possibly a very scrappy fight here.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. A lot of ults. Vamp's already taken out Karts though, that's... You don't want that. I mean, I just watched Kylo Ren's health just insta-die. SPT, he gets a bit creative with the res. It's not gonna work. He's gonna sacrifice his life, but he will get the resurrection. And more importantly, he will have the duplicate. The Flux from Ahi comes out, as does the dragons from Monica, and it's gonna be they're gonna be reaping the rewards of that, as Distortion and Bakura get picks of their own. Jordan takes out Distortion, but I don't think it's gonna matter, as... Well, I say that, but Momentum, they're holding strong. Bakura's gotten a bit too disconnected. Kylo Ren and SBT took out Monica and Ruination. Their push, they invested so much. They got so much value out of it. But ultimately, the picks from SBT and Romad and Jordan and Kylo Ren, as always, going huge when he has to, are just going to mean that Ruination's push falls apart.
SBT coming out with the Battle Mercy. I like it. A key pick there onto Monica, and now they just have to go back and reset. And yeah, they used a lot there and ended up not winning that fight. So now we're back into that ult cycle again. Momentum. They have the Bob to Space Point, and they'll have the Flux here. So a good set of ultimates here from Momentum to try and hold this.
Monica's already gone down. Karts is switching onto the McCree for just raw CC and raw damage. The ball from Vamp is sent out and goes down immediately. Jordan! Oh my! That Flux. He's killed 5 now. And yeah, there it is. The tactical crouch. As you do tend to indulge in a little tactical crouching when you've killed 5 with 1 just by yourself. I mean, great combo from Momentum there to utilize the Flux to get value out of it like that. And I mean, for Ruination, it's starting to get a bit dire. You're down to like 40-50 seconds. I can't see because my stream is in 720p because I don't have Nitro. But yeah, something like that. Like 40 seconds now. And SBT does get chunked down, but he's probably going to be able to survive as there's no real immediate pressure onto them. Karts is already taking a Vamp though, meaning that a lot of hope of momentum goes down. SBT's damage boost is gone, and Roman takes out Bakura, but I don't know how much that's going to help, as just Monica is going to take out Roman himself, and the Dragon's going to come out from Roman. The res on the Bakura is going to go huge. It's going to enable Ruination to move on to this point, especially with V going down. Kylo Ren is just going to have to poke from the spawn. He's not going to be able to do much by himself. And there it is. More picks from Ruination. They're establishing themselves on this point. Karts is going to use the High Noon just to try and make space, just to try and delay. Allow Ruination to establish themselves on this point a bit more. Roman goes down, as does V on the Moira. I don't think Ruination Momentum has a chance here, as Kylo Ren goes down as well. It's just Jordan, and it's just Vamp stalling for now. Jordan goes down, Vamp goes down, Roman's on the ball stall here, but it's not going to help them, as Ruination, at long last, they had 4 minutes, but they can't make it work, or they couldn't make it work until the very last fight, and they finally they will cap this second point.
Yeah, and this goes back to what we were talking about in the pregame, talking about both these teams very evenly matched. We're not seeing too many mistakes from either of these teams. It's more of who is whichever team is utilizing their ults more efficiently. And Momentum had it there for a while, but Ruination, like you said, just able to get that point there right at the end. But they do finish in overtime, so there's a chance here for Momentum.
Yeah, I mean, if Momentum can cap with more than a minute, then the best Ruination can hope for is a draw. Which, if you can do that, if you as Momentum can do that, and you can win in the slightly less dishonest Overwatch mirror, then I mean you have to be feeling good going into this third map. But you have to focus on the immediate. If you're Momentum, you have to focus on capping this first point, then this second point, and then if you have sufficient time, the third push, or the second attack, rather. As we're going to see Momentum rolling out on the Brawl, which we haven't seen this look from them before. So it'll be interesting to see how they want to play it, especially into the poke composition, or the Orisa Diva, the jack of all trades that Ruination want to run here. It's interesting to see that both of these teams seem to be opting into the Orisa Diva over the double shield on defense. We're going to see the TP from Vamp coming out, as well as the wall from Kylo Ren, and they're just going to TP onto the wall itself. The lamp's going to come out from SBT, as is the lamp from Lilam, and we're just going to see Ruination getting forced back onto this point. Lilam's lamp has gone down already, meaning that Roman can just push onto this point for free and just take all the space that he needs. But the pull and the stickies are going to come out from just Ruination, breaking Roman's shield, however, temporarily. Ahi's going to go down, though, at the hands of Vamp and D combining. Kylo Ren gets really disconnected. I don't know what he was trying to do, but Karts is going to punish him for his I forgot what I was going to say there, but Ruination are pulling this fight back, even if they give the tick. Just Monica's Dragons are going to come out, as well as the picks from Monica and Karts. Distortion gets the res on the Bakura, and Ruination, from a losing standpoint, from a man disadvantage, they've turned that fight, and they've won it.
Yeah, Momentum did a really good job there dislodging them from the high ground. But yeah, I don't know what Kylo Ren was going for there. That not to say that did cost him the fight, but that was a huge kill there. But now Momentum there.
We're gonna see Karts hitting the Karts, bro. I feel bad for Karts there, I'm not gonna lie. He gets the duplicate. He's like, this is my chance to be a hero for my team. Well, okay, not really pick yet. But anyway, Roman's just gonna look to engage onto the Orisa very low, and we're now seeing that the double shield of Ruination, or the Orisa Diva of Ruination, is getting kind of split, and the land from Lilam is going to go down. Roman's getting a bit creative with the charge, just looking to use it as a mobility, and he's going to have a shatter here. He's not going to use it, though, as Kylo Ren's taken out Lilam. Distortion will get the res, but in the meantime, Momentum, they've taken full control of this point, and with Ruination, you can't really hope to gain much out of this. You can maybe stall, maybe hope to invest your ultimates, but Bakura's already gone down, and Ruination, they don't have a chance here. Well, okay, I say that Monica's taking out Jordan, even with Ahi going down. Who knows? Monica's taking out Vamp as well! Karts goes down, but this is winnable! Monica kills 3! He gives Ruination a glimmer of hope in that fight, but they just don't touch. He's killed 4! Monica Hanzo is something else, man.
Ooh, man, some really good kills there. Unfortunately, they came just a tad too late, just after they were able to cap point A. Now, if you're Momentum, can you get this snowball onto point B? They have.
They certainly. They have the ults to do so.
They do, yeah. They have that Shatter come up, and here comes the duplicate now from the cards on the side of Ruination. Shatter down, doesn't get anything.
Bomb comes out from Monica's taking out Vamp though. Again, going huge on the Hanzo with like 17 characters helping him out. That's just padding stats at that point. And Ruination, they've taken a quite decisive fight.
Yeah, and that was a good engage there from Ruination. They have the duplicate from cards, and they get that Shatter out, and now we're into the ult cycle again. Lilam's got that window to kind of split the point, and V's going to come up with a sound barrier. Momentum do have that Blizzard though.
Vamp's taking out Distortion here as well. So Ruination, their push has already been hamstrung. Vamp's got 2! Vamp is showing that he can contend in the hit scan mirror as well. And Jordan takes out 2 as well. Just Monica's dragons are gonna come in. They're gonna get, well, Roman's gonna go down. Jordan's gonna get demexed, so maybe Ruination does have a chance in this fight. Monica's taking out another one. Monica is unhinged. Somebody stop this man! He's gotten 3! He's gotten 4! And he's single-handedly giving Ruination a fighting chance in this fight. Another push goes to waste.
You talk about going off at just the right time. Monica's doing something right. 4 kills in that fight alone. Momentum looked like they had it, but Monica said no. And now Momentum have to go back to the drawing board.
Momentum only have their DPS ult here. Kylo Ren takes out carts early, but Distortion's in position to get the res, especially with that little overhang, enabling SVT to get the res for free. Jordan gets DMX, he's just gonna run back to the rest of his team. The Blizzard from Kylo Ren's gonna come out, but I mean, I don't think it's gonna matter much, as Ruination can just kite out of this fairly easily. They switch onto the Sigma from Ahi as well. Curse struck low, but he's gonna be able to grab the Mega here. He's gonna get split by Kylo Ren and go down at hands with V, but Monica and Ahi again going so huge for their team. Monica in particular has been putting an absolute MVP level performance here. It's kind of ridiculous to me. Like, how do you think Momentum can counter this at all?
It's starting to become a little bit tough. Now you've taken 2 minutes off the clock already. They do have some key ults here, but the thing about this is if you have a DPS player like Monica who just is able to get one headshot after another, there's not much you can do. Now the Dragon comes out. This is looking tough for Momentum.
I mean, Monica gets one with the Dragon. Well, Jordan's just not with it. Okay, well, Jordan's back with his team. Homie was trying to get a back cap there for a second. Like, I mean, someone needs to get a screenshot of that and put it on the starboard in the Discord. Cause I don't know. That's a bit creative. But Ruination, they are taking the fight here. They are winning this fight again. So.
And what I'm seeing from Ruination is these last 2 maps, you have different individual players making big plays. Last map, it was Distortion with the Roadhog. Now, with this map, it's Monica with the Hanzo. I mean, it's just the ability to have just one player have a pop-off moment, and that's really sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, I mean, Momentum, this is probably their second to last fight, if that. It might just be their last fight entirely. Oh, big wall from Kylo Ren, and Roma's gonna take out Distortion. Roma's Shatter Gun's gonna come out, as is the Beat and the Diva Bomb. Carts, though, hits a huge Shatter as the duplicated Echo. He's taking out Roma, he's taking out Vamp. He's coming for your head. Carts right now is judge, jury, and executioner, and he will not be letting Momentum have a sight of this point. Just Monica as well as his Distortion on the Ana. Again, just the individual play is going so huge on the side of Ruination. Momentum, they have no recompense here.
Now you got less than 15 seconds now. I mean, this is it. That's fucking Momentum. Besides your DPS ults, you've got nothing.
I mean, Jordan's already so disconnected just in the hopes that they can try and touch, but again, they can't even touch. There's no hope here for Momentum and Ruination. They living up to their name. They brought the end times straight to Momentum's door, and they're gonna take the series 2-0.
This was just complete dominance here by Ruination, and again we go back to it. It's these big individual pop-off plays. Again, it was distortion on map 1 with the Hawk. Then Jordan and Cart on DPS here in map number 2. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
unbelievable indeed, man. That was something else. I was behind the scenes watching the whole thing, and yeah, it looks like Ruination managed to stop Momentum dead in their tracks. And like you did say, those individual plays really helped them out a ton.
Yeah, I mean, you can, I guess you can dread it, you can run from it, but just Monica's Hanzo, it will eventually arrive. And I know I'm kind of cherry picking from what's it called, from universes here, from canonical universes, but my point still stands. Like, just Monica's Hanzo was absolutely dominant on both maps in my mind, especially on Anubis, obviously, where they just took over entirely. But even on Dorado, I felt they were getting a lot of value playing off of Sage and Distortion and just being able to poke from range. Obviously with Sage out and with Distortion no longer on the Hog, which, I mean, that in and of itself is just amazing. But I think that enables Monica to shine more, as it does the rest of the team, who are all very competent in their own right.
Yeah, and it was just going back to map 1. It was just wondrous to see Distortion make that Hog work, just landing hook after hook. I mean, it was something special to see, and give credit. Oh, sorry, my Alexa decided to go off, so I apologize about that. I'm so sorry. That's bad timing. But going back to what I was saying, yeah, just those individual pop-off plays, just making the Hog work was something really good to see.
Definitely, they really showed their strengths there in the hero pool and the maps, and they really showed dominant here. I know we all said in the beginning we were thinking that Momentum was actually going to take it, so I guess you can consider this an upset, but I do still think that Momentum's not done yet. They just need to stop by the gas station and refill the car, because they definitely have the road paved out ahead of them. And I'm just happy because that was a really good game, even if it could be considered a little bit one-sided. I still thought it was great play, great Overwatch, very entertaining, and I'm happy for both teams. And I guess in terms of MVP, we pretty much already said, called it, like, how that Hanzo was just doing so well there for Ruination.
Yeah, I mean, also, shout out to Karts, who was doing a very good job playing off of Monica, sort of how Sage was playing off of Distortion on Dorado. Kart's Echo in particular went absolutely huge when it needed to, especially in that second to last fight, or really that last fight. I guess you can't say that last one was really a fight, where he hits the copied Echo, his team's at a disadvantage, he gets the copied Rhine, and he charges Romod's, he just charges Romod, makes him unable to play off of the Shatter, which was quite big, to be honest, and just off of that, pretty much wins the fight. But, yeah, I mean, overall, it's great performance from Ruination. They're 2-0 now, and I can't wait to see them kick on after that and take their game to a whole new level, because that was, I mean, if they can work out how to, if they can get the rest of their team to play to the level that that Monica, Distortion, and Sage have been doing, the sky's the limit for them. Like, that kind of individual skill is insane. They just need to learn to...
Speaking of Karts, we actually do have him and Jace coming in for an interview courteous of Ruination. Hello, welcome, and congratulations, you guys, on your 2-0 win.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So first question of ours that we have for you today is, so obviously we saw that the DPS lineup for you guys were really smooth, clean, and got the job done, particularly, on the Hanzo Echo. Did you guys always run that composition in scrims, or did you just decide to throw it out today to catch Momentum off guard?
Yeah, that's like something we've kind of been practicing. I mean, I think between me and Sade, we've also been playing a lot of Tracer together, but we've definitely, especially on Hanzo, we've been practicing that quite a lot. And then we also more recently started playing a lot more Echo, and it's worked well.
Yeah, for sure. Echo just too insane in double shield, and we needed to
integrate Karts quickly, and we just got to slot him in on the comfort, and Echo was that. So.
And then I wanted to ask, so can you guys kind of take me through the mindset of playing Roadhog on Dorado? Because you guys worked it to perfection. I was curious to see what the mindset was running the hog there.
So, do you want to take this one, Carl?
You can say it.
I was about to say, yeah. So, I've spent an eternity getting griefed by 3.9k hog players, as has anyone. So, we thought, you know what, let's run it. But like in all seriousness, there's so many like crevices and flanks on Dorado in particular. I'm going to be brutally honest. I think a lot of teams they're new, and it means their attention to resource is quite weak, as we saw that today from Momentum. The amount of egregious hooks that Distortion was able to get was just like almost unfair and fight winning because of it. So it's just like hard abuse off of that. It's a little bit cheesy, but I don't know. Like just don't get hooked. Lol. Like you can hear him. It's not like it's a Zenyatta. It's a 6-ton fucking pig in your backline. Oh, I don't know if I can swear. It's a 6-ton pig in. I don't know if I can swear. 6-ton pig in your backline.
Just say it's a slip of the tongue. But yeah, I mean, even with Jordan switching onto the D.Va, Distortion was allowed to run free. So I guess that speaks a lot to just the effectiveness of that comp, just the dishonesty of the dishonest nature of the comp.
He's a good hog player. I think I'd give credit where credit's due. Distortion a bit sicko mode on the pig.
Oh yeah. Also, like, I mean, I don't know if this was just like a natural thing or if you guys coached this into Sage, but you guys were doing a great job. Like Sage in particular and Monica were doing a great job playing off of that. So was that something you worked on in scrims or just like a more impromptu, like a spur of the moment thing?
I think the cards will be able to agree that when you have you're aware that you have a hog and you're willing and able to work around it. As I said, I'm sure Karts can attest to it. Like once you know what your hog is doing and you know that even though he might be griefing, he's griefing with intent, like any decent DPS player will be able to pick up on it. It's not something that I've had to like PowerPoint them for. It's sort of just like I've been surprised with how seamlessly integrated it. Like I don't know, I just like how have you found it, Karts? Because I doubt you played in a comp this wacky before, right?
I don't know. Sometimes. I mean, I used to play off tank before, and we kind of did silly stuff. But I don't know. It's not that hard to actually integrate it. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think part of it's just team play, fundamental team play. I did have one more question for Karts actually. That last fight on Anubis with the copy onto the Rhine, was there like any thought like going into your head with that, or was it just like any particular thought process like with that decision to copy the Rhine to charge in, or was it just I'm doing a thing, see where it goes?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I was already planning to either do Brian or D.Va, like the fight before after that, but I just wanted to see if I could land a shatter and ended up getting the timing right, and I don't know, it worked out really well.
Low key saved game, by the way.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
I was going hard with the what's it called? With the euphemisms on that. It was massive, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, once again, good job, you guys, and I hope you guys will continue to perform this well in the future weeks. Thanks again, and have fun celebrating with your team.
Thank you.
Congrats, y'all.
And you guys in chat, be sure to stick around, because after the break, we've got our final match of the evening, which is going to be Basalt and Battery going up against Cowabunga.
BPL Season 3 is brought to you by John's Overwatch Coaching. Struggling to hit plat? Want some advice in your BPL scrims? Need an owl coach? Book a session with John at medify.gg/@John for a high-quality professional coaching session regardless of your skill level. He has excellent experience from XL2, Team Doge, and British Hurricane, but will still give you incredible advice at whatever rank you are. Support BPL's coaching partner today at medify.gg/@John.
Well, it's gotta be that way with me. Because I've only known one man. Not that a hotshot's never gonna fail no other time.
Welcome back, everybody, to our final match of the evening for BPL Season 3, Week 2. Once again, MFG here, joined by Worst Casts and Jace. Our match tonight is Basalt and Battery going up against Cowabunga. I think this is going to be a pretty exciting match. Both these teams are 0-1, so one of them is looking to climb the leaderboard and push the other one down to the defeats of the 0-2 land.
Yeah, and I'm looking at these two teams. Both of them are not amazingly highly rated teams by any regard. I don't believe by the community. But I mean, Basalt and Battery went 1-2 against Monarch, and at first people were like, "Oh, it's Monarch," and then today a lot of that was kind of flipped on its head, right? With Monarch kind of, I mean, it was a little bit of a trounce even that occurred. So Monarch definitely went up in people's eyes. So Basalt and Battery playing them close might be a better indication that they are a better team than people expected, but they're down butters tonight. So I believe they're down butters at least. So
yeah,
that's rough.
Could be a big loss. I think one thing that's been a little bit more stupid, a little bit more off the cuff than rating teams before we've even seen them is rating teams after week 1. No one expected, I think there's a couple of results and upsets. I've seen some tier lists from people in the community. As in traditional Overwatch fashion, they've been completely blown out the wind and the water week 1. Basalt and Battery, Cowabunga, it's going to be my first look at both of these teams. This is just going to be good knowledge for me as a captain in this league, so this will be nice to see how these teams play. Big miss for Cummies though, was a steal in the draft for them particularly as well. So unfortunately, going to be missing that, but I'm sure they'll be able to pick up the pieces nonetheless. Basalt and Battery versus Cowabunga, I for one am excited. These are two of my favourite brandings in the league.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to see it. But unfortunately, branding does not get you wins, and that's really what we're all here for.
This is true and real. And I know you guys both highlighted a couple of players, and looking at the rosters, of course, definitely there are some notable people, whether they're here, whether they're missing, whether we know what heroes they tend to play. And taking all of that into consideration, especially going on that our first map is going to be Rialto, what do you guys expect to see from both sides, depending on what they want to pull for attack or defense?
So I think it's going to be interesting to see if there have to be composition swaps made for Basalt and Battery side, missing a key player that is kind of a cornerstone of that team. And we'll get a glimpse of that actually pretty quickly as we are heading into Rialto. Get to see what these teams are kind of thinking, what they're kind of had to mull over in the last week of like what changes are made. And so far it seems that they both want to go to those Reinhardts, but one team is going to be playing a bit slower, missing that Lucio.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Cowabunga need to lean into the strength of their draft. I often feel at times you can get a bit deadlocked and you'd sort of feel bad if, for example, you drafted this tank line that Cowabunga have managed to get. Hyper Knight, no slouch, Chasey, one of, if not the second best off-tank in this whole tournament. Definitely in the top 3 at the very least. So you may feel that you have to play around them, but that's something that if the map doesn't allow it. But is this here, Podders?
Nice.
So Basalt going to be at full strength, but as I was saying, you got to play around your strength as a team. I think for Cowabunga, it is absolutely this tank line. Hyper Knight going to be a bit jailed, on the Orisa with that double shield going to allow them so much control as this fight starts, and it's going to, I think, allow the lesser DPS of Clap and Clockwise, I think it's fair to say, a bit more pressure. But oh, Gavin!
Ooh, already. Gavin is now gone, but XYZY decides to take them out as well. Off into the drink they go. A little bit of a misstep there from the Lucio, maybe trying just a little bit too hard to be a cool skater boy, but they will be seeing you later, as right now we have them posturing over this high ground. The Hanzo throwing some pot shots in, the shields baiting them for the meantime, but they just rushed on past the Orisa now, turning their focus back onto them, and they are just gone. Hyper Knight cannot withstand the damage coming out from Basalt and Battery, and now the push is on to clean up these stragglers that are running away.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just going to roll forward here. They needed to get into the effective hammer range of Edict, and that's what he did. The captain, the leader of Basalt and Battery, charging them forward. They're going to claim this first corner, but losing Abstract means that this recontest is going to come through any second now. It's going to get a bit more dicey, particularly when you look at Gavin's ultimate charge. This window is looming on the horizon for Cowabunga.
Nano could go straight down onto Edicts, and that it will. Now, time to swing onto the Sigma, but the Halt pulling him back in. The Lucio once again gone. Something I've said multiple times now, that the Lucio just kind of seems to be losing their life very early in these fights, and Clockwise takes that opportunity. There's no speed to get them out of that Dragon, to get them out of range of those headshots, and now a reset coming in here, and ults for both sides are, well, it's looking quite dire for Basalt and Battery, if I'm to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Laser Blitz's Dragon, I think, was good there, but unfortunately they just managed to overload onto one side of the Dragon, and then from there the pure spam damage from Cowabunga that came through was just far too easy for them. They've got a wealth of ultimates themselves as well. Do the defense Basalt and Battery have to climb through these crevices just to even get to the payload, and when they do, they're probably going to get fluxed by Chasey because of it. So Basalt and Battery looking very dicey in the situation, wanting to turn it around though. Blade Shatter from Edict potentially.
Shatter is out, as well as the Bob though on defense, and Clap will be clapping back here as they find two, and the res does come in. All the hard work there from Assault and Battery now just over as Edicts having to reset off of this. What? No, gonna be running back in. You just get rocked right out of that. Nice little tracking there from Chasey, as again the reset, but a lot of ults expended for Cowabunga, and Basalt didn't have much to work with in the beginning anyways.
Yeah, definitely. Basalt and Battery taking that a bit of a dry fight. They luckily forced basically everything in the kitchen sink out from Cowabunga, so they're going to be trying hard for this fight. This Lucio's doing a copious amount of trolling. Is out, but has to get back to the team because Edict's on Reinhardt, needs that speed boost. And now 1 minute 8 left on the clock. Cowabunga drained this time bank. That's okay, the beat engage.
Beat, but nothing to follow up. They were just a bit too far away. Even with that speed, you're not going to go far enough. The bomb on the backside, but you have two shields. That doesn't seem to be enough as Clockwise gets taken out. You've lost your Hanzo, who was very close to that Dragon. A large zoning ultimate going through those walls provided a lot of pressure. And now it's time for them to try and push in, pick off these tanks that are keeping them at bay. And right now the Dragon's intersecting on this point, crossing stream, something you should never do, but it doesn't go too bad for either team. No one is caught out, but the lamp now gone here from Assault and Battery. And on this point, it's Edict swinging around. The DPS here have great off angles, and the Shatter, just in case, won't have to use it, just cleaning up this point. A little bit of meters to go, and that they do. And Hyper Knight once again down and back to spawn. Just a little bit farther than where he started out.
Yeah, there we go. Basalt and Battery finally get themselves on the board. They unlock the payload thanks to the intertwining Dragon Strike, and they managed to bust out the ghosts and take them all the way through into this open part of Rialto. Second, it's going to get a little bit better for them now because they've got high ground that they're willing to stage from. On the bad news, though, they're going to have to be staring down a flux that comes from Chasey any second. It looks like, though, Basalt and Battery just going to kite back away from the payload for now. So nothing too risky for them, but the longer this fight goes on, there we go. Look, the ultimate. Oh, Edict. He just can't play the game.
That's a pee-pee poof right there, as Edicts is now gone. The Flux comes out. Doesn't, I don't believe, put anyone into the ground with too much damage. Doesn't kill anyone at the very least. Of course, only does 50% of that HP, so can't do too much to those squishies. But Chasey gonna go down low, 27 HP and living. The beat is gonna secure, trying to push up, try to take out Chasey. Edicts is back, has the Shatter, the Bob back in this left side stairwell. Can't get too good of an angle onto this backside, but they're still giving it a lot of respect. The window doesn't find what they need, and the Dragon another time. I've just seen Clockwise build these dragons so fast, and they get so much value every single time. They push them back, and Chasey now on the aggression. They're stuck here. You gotta reset, you gotta get back to that spawn some way, somehow. Maybe it's the water, maybe it's the bridge. Abstract chooses the water, but Swifters makes it back via the bridge.
And down he goes, and Cowabunga really benefiting with the amount of space they're able to soak and take up with these two shields clockwise. On Burger Squad, second in the British Blastoff, has made the step up from B League to A and has been honestly popping off because it was definitely the stronger out of the DPS for Burger Squad. In my opinion, he's been showing off the variety of hero pools, pulling out the Hanzo in this one and just doing so much work against the Brawl comp. Yes, he kind of only needs to shoot shields and shoot corridors, but one thing you can find is the head of Abstract. So that's the McCree down, that's no stun, that's no DT, and that's no long range damage now for that Brawl composition.
Chasey's in a bit of a pickle here, but the Flux is going to be used to get him out of it. A lot of damage. The Lamp trying to keep everyone alive, and the Shatter. Chasey doesn't have that shield, is in fact using the Eat, and will be losing their life for it. Gets put on their back and back to spawn. As right now the charge of the high ground, Edix finds nothing. Really nice kiting so far with the DPS. They're bringing it back with the help of this Mercy. The damage boost and healing has kept them in this fight. They've been ducking and dodging, finding their way, picking out these squishy targets, and now it's just dire. You don't have the respawns, and now you're on the back foot. It looks so good for Basalt and Battery. Finally, they made progress, and there's very little time to try and do anything here.
Oh, they thought they got it. Chasey had flown too close to the sun like the wings of Icarus, but they were just slammed in their face thanks to the DPS of Cowabunga. Clockwise and Clap did an insane job there of just stalwarting the hold that came in. Now we're in overtime as Lamp has already been forced from this world competition. It's looking dicey worse.
Very dapper Bob does get taken out. Not much effectiveness. Oh, nice wall climb there from Clockwise. He's been so good at evading this damage. And now it's time. Again, another beat, another push. This time, they find Clap off of it. They actually, I believe, lost laser blitz to their own pulse bomb. A little bit of a suicide there. The high ground, though, is getting controlled excellently by Cowabunga. And the DPS are taking full advantage. XYZZY does take out the Orisa. And now it's their turn to try and push them off the high ground. You got to touch that point, though. That overtime wick is burning down. You don't have enough time to contest both, to do both. You can only be in one place at once. Butters finds the health pack, will be alive, trying to build something, anything, try to take out Gavin, the Slim, but he cannot find it. Clap, still on this off angle with that Mercy Blue Beam, is doing so much damage, is terrorizing your games just like in Ranked. The off angle Ash is doing so much, and again, they had such a good look there. They had the picks, and they couldn't remove the DPS from high ground, and they lose the fight for it, and with that, only have to push 1.5 points in order to take this first map.
Yeah, it is absolutely holdable for Basalt and Battery, particularly with a broad composition that could come through, but I think you'd be kidding yourselves if you said that Cowabunga weren't in prime position. They were on their surfboard, and I think they're going to ride this wave all the way through to map 1 of this matchup. It looks like Rialto is definitely in their hands. It's there for the taking. I think it would be considered a drop of the ball. It would be considered a bail off that surfboard. That cow gets turned into steak if they manage to lose this map. But just the way that they've been playing so far, they've looked so controlled, I think is the right word on this on this bunker, on this almost double shield S composition. Chasey did manage to go over to the Diva just to provide a bit more natural coverage and a bit more cleanup as well. Obviously the Sigma providing so much against the rotation, but once those rotations stopped coming through, Chasey went over to protect a bit more peel, and that peel really allowed Clockwise and Clap to be more aggressive, and you saw how aggressive they were at times. Basalt and Battery were winning these fights. They were cleaning up the backline of Cowabunga, but who did they leave alive? They left alive Clockwise and Clap for too long, and Clap by name, Clap by nature. Called him Clockwise because he's always on time, and it's exactly what Cowabunga needed out of these DPS. And DPS, not the most impactful in Bunga compositions historically, but you give them space, you give them time. That's exactly what Cowabunga have done. That's exactly what they've gotten. So huge for both of these DPS now, and if they can carry on like this, Cowabunga looking to take an easy map 1.
I think a big thing is Chasey on that Diva, going to be able to contest this high ground, something that was a little bit lacking.
Clockwise does it again.
Almost Clockwise. I mean, you talked about it coming up from that B League, from the British Blast Off, and can't sleep on these B Leaguers, man. Yes, it is B League, but still, the people that move up, the people that improve and can make their, prove their worth pushing up into this A League, you cannot sleep on them. You have to respect them, and Salt and Battery just have not respected Clockwise enough. He's on a tear this entire map, and he's been given the space, like you said, given the time to get these shots off, and going to be pushing even further. Finding with those storm arrows, doesn't find the kill, but will be pushing forward nonetheless. Might be a little bit too much hubris for him though, as he faces down 2 snipers. Will back off, and he's done his job.
It's a real shame. I think the only thing criminal about Basalt and Battery right now, it's not their name, it's the indecisiveness that I'm seeing from this double shield composition. They do not know how to deal with Clockwise on this off-handle, and when they finally look at him, it's already too late. He's already headshot someone, and once they finally manage to subdue him, Clap is on the angle, on the reverse, on the flank, able to pincer along the side as well. So it's a war on about 4 fronts now for Basalt and Batteries yet again. There we go, Edict's full. So what do they have to do? They have to give, but they can't give too much worse, because this payload is getting closer and closer to the destination. They're going to get this corner for free, but more importantly, Cowabunga are going to get this high ground, and once they've got ults as well, I just can't really stress it enough. This is so difficult for Basalt and Battery to play from here. They give high ground, the payload's rolling in, it's 4 minutes left on the time bank. If this isn't pandemonium, if this isn't disaster for them, then I don't know what is. They have to pull up something big here with this Flux and with this Dragon Strike.
Well, we know it's not pandemonium, that is a support player for Vengeance, but right now, it's going to be the shields coming down onto this point. The Rock going to the backline, and Hyper Knight, finally, you managed to take out the rock solid main tank. They're gone, and the back line is getting pushed. Abstract finds a dynamite on the Gavin the Slim. He will be losing their life. Ooh, Clockwise though. Ever the deadly assassin, right? You're winning a fight. You're winning like these fights so heavily, and then suddenly, wow, we've lost our support. We've lost Butters, right? It's just you can't let it happen. But it's happened too many times this fight, and that's why they're in the predicament they are. Basalt and Battery on their last legs here, but ults to win with, I would say.
Yeah, it's alright. Edicts, though, if they can find Edicts, the rest would be the perfect pick, because it just really opens the sky for something like a Bongo or a Valkyrie to come through for that Mercy. But I like the position from Basalt and Battery. They have to be aggressive, because they cannot afford to make a mistake. They really have to take tempo. But Chasey, though, hit a nice 3k warm-up in scrims against us, but manages to crush Edicts. Down it goes, the horse gets turned into a lasagna.
Yeah, the pancaking coming out there. Not much they can do any further, as actually the Flux is going to be invested here. But again, DPS and high ground, it's not a combination you want to see if you are Basalt. The heat has to come out through the Transcendence. That's how you know it's bad. Laser Blitz trying their best to take out, trying to swing this fight back in their favor. The Bongo, though, is doing so much work, allowing Chasey to have some threat with those Bunny Blasters and get the mech back in that 600 HP hunk of metal. And now they have to back off finally, but still, we say this, they've won multiple fights in a row, but 3 minutes remain, and not something you want to see going against something like Clockwise, where you can get a pick at any moment.
Yeah, exactly. The storm is staved. I thought for sure Edicts there was doing a Fortnite Pancake impression, a Fortnite Pancake homage, as he got turned into one by the rematch kill from Chasey. But as I'm saying, this Clap and Clockwise, if they found 2 picks, they're just going to walk this in and probably sweep this home for map 1 worst.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this map can be summarized very effectively into a common phrase you might hear in ranked: DPS differential. It was just a Clockwise and Clap show from start to finish, and they end as strong as they started right there, being the ones to open up that point and finish it off. And I mean, you gotta think here, if you're Basalt and Battery, how are you gonna deal with this threat, you know? How are you going to be able to deal with these snipers? You have to have not just your own DPS be the ones contesting, you have to get tanks involved there.
Yeah, the Cow rides on, back on that surfboard, and is absolutely cruising in the Hawaiian Sea all the way over Basalt and Battery. Cowabunga go up 1-0 after a pretty impressive Rialto performance. Not quite sure what map we're going to be going on to next. Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, all the bitches, bros, and non-binary hoes in the Twitch chat. I'll get word in the ear as Hanamura. The worst map in the game. You'll love to see it. I absolutely despise Hanamura, but no, it's bad. It's bad.
You ever played Ilios?
Yes, I think it's a little bit better than Hanamura.
Nah,
I think it's just a little bit
Ilios
better.
is unplayable. Unplayable map.
I think that's a hot take. I think you'll get flamed in the Twitch chat for that, but who knows? It is Twitch chat, so
Stop being like Stockholm syndrome by like having fun moments of boops. The boops are obnoxious. They're not actually conducive to good gameplay.
No, I don't mind.
It's just
I don't mind Lighthouse. Well has been kind of the funny. Ilios is but Hanamura pretty bad, but it's going to be pretty good for Cowabunga, because double shield, very, very viable composition on that map. And I think we've seen that Basalt and Battery can't really kick it, they can't really hang, they can't really surf on the same.
Did I lose? Or did Jace?
Jace?
Jace is gone. His mic peaked out.
Oh.
No, I'm back. I think my microphone just
okay.
randomly unplugged itself, and by that I mean,
yeah,
I think I
that
pulled
seems
the
to be
wire
it.
by accident. I think I pulled the wire by accident. What I was saying is just the Basalt Cowabunga can definitely kick it in the double shield composition. Basalt and Battery, I think, are going to be looking to go towards this Symmetra Reinhardt level of rush. And probably could be a strong point if that's what I predict. That's what I've heard from Basalt and Battery. This Ryan Sim comp, and really they're the only two ways to play Hanamura in my mind. You either have to double shield it, or you have to go for this Sim TP strat.
I mean, we've seen some dive attempts, or at least some controlling, Ball Diva, Pharah, that kind of composition, which isn't so much a dive as it is controlling those chokes and using that mobility of the tanks to match wherever that enemy composition might be going. But that is a very high execution, like high skill execution comp that not everyone can run. And that's not flame or anything, but that's just truth. Like, it's just hard to run sometimes. If you mess up, you mess up. Whereas other compositions, like you said, double shield, the rush compositions, they have a lot more room for error. Yep, a lot more room for error. Hey, you want a free rotation? Sim TP. You want free places to hold your ground? You got Orisa Shield and Fortify. Like, those kind of things, much more forgiving than, oh, our ball fed for the 50th time and he's now dead, as we've seen in other matches.
Absolutely, the board composition definitely has its downfalls and its peaks in itself. I think a lot of it depends on your ball player. If your ball player is bad, then I think the composition becomes very, very difficult to play. But if your ball player is half sentient, then I think it's not the worst to play. It's just about being able to go in with the slam ball. The composition is very linear in my mind. It is very one-dimensional. You know exactly what the ball's going to do. It's going to engage into your team and either displace or pile drive someone. So it's figuring out which one of the two is the most likely. And then from there, you can CC, kite the ball away, and then you've got time to take space and move forward against it. So Wrecking Ball overall, not something I've seen too much and not something I've heard about too much. I think it's something that we're going to be lacking in the Bad Patch of Mario League Season 3. Will probably only be pulled out by, I expect, 6-piece Guac and maybe some of the other teams that I've not quite heard up to yet. But the board compositions, they take time to implement for sure because it is a dive comp compared to something like Double Shield, which can just be done in one VOD review. But we're going to be throwing it over to Hanamura for map 2. Nice little winter shot there with the freezing Japanese winter. Yeah, I'm interested to see how Basalt and Battery bounce back, because they have to bounce back, otherwise they're going to get 2-0'd. And then they're going to head down 2-0-2 in the week, so big pressure on them. We saw some potentially questionable plays from some of them. The Lucio from Basalt and Battery was looking a little bit lost, but I think now that Strachey's in, Butter's back on the Zen, it could be looking good for them. It looks like they are going to elect to go with it, at least on the attack, but Cowabunga, a pretty standard composition. Not quite the double shield I expected worst, but honestly, 2 shields on Hanamura, that's enough for me.
Yeah, and it looks like XYZDY, who was the Lucio that you just mentioned, he could swap over to that off tank. So, it's going to be interesting how they perform in that role. But right now, we're looking at this Pharah defense, and like you said, not the double shield you always expect. I mean, even Orisa Diva is more common than this, I would say. But we'll be opting in for the Ryan Orisa defense here with that Pharah Mercy pressuring down your rotations. Gonna be finally focusing here, though, on your back line. It's gonna be on Strategy and Butters to kind of keep themselves alive, and the Diva here is going to try to zone out that Pharah whenever they can, but that's 87 HP on them. They have to back up, and that's the danger, right? You peek for just a second and your HP is now gone.
It's going to take so long for this Brig and this Zenyatta to heal up that Diva as well. Not a lot of healing from that backline. You trade it for utility, but Clockwise takes full advantage. Butters trading back though. I think that's a better pick for the side of nope. I was going to say better pick if they can deny the rest. They cannot. Clockwise is back up and he's in the air once again.
Edix is going to be rolling away on that 1 HP, but Clap finds them and denies their ability to kind of be a nuisance in that back line. But Abstract does have that ability, but has to get forced out by that sleep dart. Could have been definitely dangerous if Gavin found that one, and right now it's going to be Abstract's job to get in this backside and try to find any amount of space, create some space even, because it's going to be hard for this ball, and that's not something you want to hear really. But the ball can be just rolling in through the front. Not sure if I recommend that strategy to you. It's like very clear, obvious pathing, and might get chased down, but they don't have to.
Oh my god, he's
tracer.
alive.
Yeah, they don't have that tracer.
Edict is alive on 1 HP thanks to the health packs that come through. Health pack control so important against Wrecking Ball. By the way, guys, if you want to beat Wrecking Ball, go Sombra, hack those health packs, but Clockwise goes in, finds 2, both backline. Oh, down the brig, there's a yard to fall. Clockwise finds 3. The Egyptian bird is well and truly loving life on the other side of the world, all the way in out here in Japan. The damage boost that comes in from CLCO is quick and clean as well, and Clockwise, he's been a showcase statement so far on this map, coming up from the B League. He's been so good, exactly what they needed. Finds 2 with 1 ultimate, completely nullifying that push from Basalt and Battery. And if you are Basalt and Battery right now, worst, they just need to fight. Abstract is 82 on EMP with 2 minutes done already left on the clock. They've got 1, maybe 2 fight here at max. They just need to go and fight and build up this EMP because it is their primary win condition, and I don't think they could even consider beating Cowabunga without it.
Yeah, and right now it's Clockwise again. I mean, the Butters, though, does manage to get through. Manages to get to safety, and by safety I mean finding the hammer of Chasey. Gets bonked on the head, sent back to spawn. The hack comes out, and finally they built up ultimates, but you use both your bomb and Butters trans there, and you come out worse for wear. Your ult bank actually looks worse in that fight than you did going in. The Shatter is committed, but I mean, looking at this, it just seems like the supports are getting stranded every fight, right? You aren't using your D.Va as kind of that middle ground, leaving them back maybe to peel them with the Pharah. Instead, you're just kind of like, hey guys, we're gonna go over there and dive them and have fun with the Pharah. And they're like, please help me.
The reason this composition is so difficult that you mentioned was because your D.Va is the lever, the D.Va is the fulcrum of this composition, because they need to effectively be everywhere at the same point. They need to peel for the backline whilst helping that ball stage at the same time too. So you have to be clean and precise on this D.Va, and XYZ is getting pulled apart all the cases, and it means that they just can't afford to look at Clockwise as much as they really need to. Clap though gets the opening pick onto Butters, so that's no Transcendence if it came up later in the fight, but it's looking so roped here for Basalt and Battery. They just can't really play the game.
I mean, there are some good trades here. Clap goes down as well, but Clap still has a little friend called Bob right there, and Clockwise still strong on this point. The Res even coming and keeping Hyper Knight in this fight, and it seems all but over, really. How can they win this fight? They have the rally. That's their saving grace. Yes, a strong ultimate, but is it enough? The Pulse also has to be used. The Bongo is going to be used to deny the rotation here, but will it be enough?
I don't think it will be. This Bongo is going to be so good at just basically what is a neutral fight. Basalt have to scramble to the payload. They might not even be able to do it. Clockwise just one taps. Strachi, and they go down. Clap finds another one on Abstract as well. And Basalt and Battery falls apart. They get completely taken to the scrap heap. I'm not really quite sure what you do with batteries once they get past their afterlife. Do they just go in a bin? Do they go to the furnace? I have no idea, but where they definitely do not go is to Hanamura, because Basalt and Battery looked weak. They looked like a AAA at most, something that they would not want to be picking up from your dollar value store. Can't really go any further with this pun, but Cowabunga making a statement off the back of some very passive but also some very aggressive play, both ends as well. Clockwise, once again, the star of Hanamura. He bobbed off on the Pharah and put driver's seat for Cowabunga here, as they only need a tick to win this map.
Yeah, and right now Cowabunga is making a bit of a statement here, trying to separate themselves, at least putting them away from that bottom tier, right? They're trying to say, there's tiers in BPL, there's tiers in every competition, and right now we are not that bottom tier. Now, getting up there and picking up where they are when we've only seen 2 weeks of play, of course not every team has played every other team or even played similar teams, right? So some teams have had easier strengths of schedule, some teams have had harder strengths of schedule. So we can't really get a pinpoint of where exactly they are, but they're saying there's definitely teams below us, so respect on our name. We have some sauce, and right now I'm looking at their DPS line that are providing the most of that sauce. It's been quite inspiring to see them play here, and that's definitely a bright spot if you are a Cowabunga fan. I know I am. That branding is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's one of the better brandings in the league. It's not the best branding in the league for sure. I believe Bunny did the logo and she did an excellent job with it. But one thing that cannot be understated is how good Hyper-Knight and Chasey are and how good they will continue to be if they're needed. But so far, they're just chilling. They're playing the instrumenters. They're playing the orchestrator roles. They're going to take a really aggressive TP here. They're just going to dive the objectives and dare Basalt and Battery to do anything about it. Here's the May wall. Goodbye, Edict.
I don't know how. In the year 2021, we are still getting caught off guard by sim TP rotations. Very common angle to go in there, and about as over as it started. And somehow, we have this match has gone on a very short amount of time. Clockwise picking up the play of the game here. I mean, massive props to Cowabunga. They definitely have stepped up their play, and they have a lot of bright spots. You see right here, just going in. Oh, really nice barrage there, and then 2-tap to finish up. Really bright talent here that you just love to see, right? Moving up from B-League.
Story.
I mean, I love seeing it, you know, new talent coming up, maybe some preconceived notions of talent not being true, people hyping people up correctly. Always fun to see, and definitely one of the hypest DPS we have currently. And seeing where this team can go with that DPS, and of course, like you said, that good tank line, like a very strong, solid tank line as well.
Yeah, and commiserations to Basalt and Battery as they fall 0-2 down to 0-2 in the season. They're going to need to kick back, but I think once they get their full roster, they get them all back together, they will be ready to go. As there were moments, there were spots, but I think in the end they kind of just fell. It was just a little bit of a lack of synergy, a lack of coordination from Basalt and Battery, I think, that got them in the end there. As the tanks of Cowabunga, I think you can wholeheartedly agree, were just very, very controlling and very, very dominant. It looked a bit too easy for them to be able to take space, and there wasn't enough pressure that was kicked back onto them for being able to dare to walk forward into some of these compositions and heroes that Basalt and Battery played. But Cowabunga, hey, they won't care. They'll get themselves on the board 2-0. They're going to go to 2-2 in maps, get themselves right bang in the middle of the pack as we have a look at the A-League standings. Yeah, so they leveled themselves up with momentum after we gave them the sword. And momentum in our previous match fell 2-0 to the mighty Ruination, who currently sit second, admittedly, behind Summit, who are fittingly at the Summit. And that's going to be it. I believe every team now has played 2 games. We've got some interviews coming in from the A-Room. Really nice game. GG's gamers. Cowabunga. I believe we've got Gavin, the flex support, and we've got Jerry, the main tank. So, first question. How do you guys think, from scrims, from power rankings, from general thoughts, how do you guys think you stack up against some of the teams? Well, I say some teams above you, some of the teams around your pack. Like, how are you feeling now that you've got a win on the board?
No, I'd like to say that we're feeling pretty good. It's nice to be in the win column.
It's fun to be an underdog, you know, bottom 2, bottom 3, but, you know, as momentum starts rolling, hopefully we get more on the board.
Yep, and it's good to see you guys kind of push it up there. And something interesting, like, especially with how it's only been 2 weeks so far, right? And there's not it's hard to tell really where teams place with how schedules have gone, like who played the good teams, who played the bad teams, who played the middle of the pack teams, like who competed close and all that kind of stuff. How do you guys like see yourselves like shaking out? We push in further in the season, you guys get more confidence, more scrim time, all that kind of stuff. What do you guys kind of, how high can you punch is what I'm trying to say.
I'm honestly hoping for higher middle of the pack. I know it's a lot for almost being a bottom 2 team. Obviously, I was off rolling today, but obviously we get one of our main players back, more practice. Maybe we get some upsets, who knows?
I think that's something you've got to look for. You might as well go all the way and say, hey, we're just going to try and win as much as we can, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But I think it's that's a question. What has it been like sort of integrating with this roster? Because I believe most of you guys, I think you might be one of the few teams that don't even have like at least a duo that have played together before.
That is correct.
Me and Hyper have both been on clients last season.
Oh, you were on clients last season. Oh, forgive me.
You know,
so what is it?
The 2 most sensational players from that team, obviously.
True and real. I believe Rico is currently molding on his own stream. He was playing replays earlier.
I mean, when you think of clients duos, Gavin and Hypernight are the two that obviously stick out.
So what is it? What has it been like? What has changed this time? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? What's different for Cowabunga this time? What did you learn from clients, and what are you trying to do differently on Cowabunga then?
Our comms are a lot slower. Like I hear clients, people were yelling, they were going ham. Here we hear Chasey tells us, like Chasey has been God on earth for us. He tells us what to do, micromanages us.
Player. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really phenomenal. MVP candidate, in my opinion.
True.
Yeah, true. I think we have the same effect that Ahi has in Ruination. Such a very controlling, stabilizing voice distortion to very, very calm voices in the comms. And all it takes is one call of, hey, flux here, hey, rotate here, hey, come with me here, we can push them here. So definitely, yeah, Chasey is a big factor. Wasn't quite popping off as much. One thing I would want to ask as well is, are you guys surprised by Clockwise and how well he popped off today coming up from the B League? Or I don't know if either of you were involved in the draft.
So, not particularly involved in the draft, but in terms of staff stuff, I helped with World Cup, the West Coast team, and Clockwise was one of the players that we watched on the B League roster. And I thought that he looked phenomenal there, and I was excited to work with him.
Clockwise wasn't...
Coming into this. And so, yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily surprising, so to speak. He always seemed like a really good player, but I guess in terms of this is a higher SR,
for sure.
league, and how does he adjust? I think that makes sense.
I'm just thankful he showed up today.
Yeah, he popped off.
Nice. And I mean, before we end here, obviously the final match of the second week here. You guys have anything you guys want to shout out? Maybe anything you guys want to maybe give a little bit of a recognition to out there.
Please give us an easy schedule, and thank God for Chasey.
Yeah,
that's about it.
We pretty much shouted out a lot of
who you guys got your eyes on next? Who would you most like to play next week?
Anybody but Galaxy.
Interesting.
Angry recurve is a scary recurve. I don't want to go through that.
That's fair enough.
It would be fun to match up with Zenith just because, Teku's my pal, and it'd be nice to play against him. Again, kind of like last season when we played against Minehive, so that'd be neat, but obviously not. Looking at A teams is this is the team I want for sure.
Good to hear you guys still have some confidence there, and you guys are going to be building that confidence throughout the season as these wins will maybe continue to pile up as you take your first one here today, 1-1 in that schedule. And again, thank you guys for joining us, and congratulations on your win today. You guys did an amazing job. And well, as for us here at BPL Season 3, this is the final match of Week 2. Will be joining us again is Solomon. How
Hi.
you doing? Hello.
It's me. Wow, what a weekend we've had! Some crazy matches, and somehow we're ending on time. Thanks.
That's the biggest thing.
I know, right? Thanks to Cowabunga for making that nice and sweet and short.
That was a speed run.
It really was. I just looked up from my phone. I was like, oh, it's a 2-0. I see. We're finished. Cool. Yeah, so that was a little bit of domination there. But yeah, we showed up the standings. I'll bring it up once again. This is how we are finished after week 2. You can see we've got some nice little patterns emerging. 4 2-0s, 4 0-2s, and a nice big pack of 8 1-1. And so all of those different groups will play against each other. So next week, Summit will take on either Ruination, Monarch, or Sloss, and we'll have some 2 powerhouse matches to see who will then go up into 3-0. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Again, the same in the lower places. To see who will be down at the bottom in 0-3, 0-4. But hopefully no one
surprises me.
It's got to happen mathematically. There's going to be 2 0-3s next week, and then after that, there's going to be an 0-4. So it's just how it happens.
It's just maths, ladies and gentlemen. It's just how it works. I'm looking forward to Monarch. Let me slay the king. Bring on Monarch. I think they looked good, but let's see. I'm looking forward to going up against Monarch the most out of those teams. Summit, could potentially be a scary one for us, but who knows?
We'll see. So that's all next week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the usual time, 6/4 Eastern. Hopefully we'll see you again next week. We'll also have another episode of Relay at some point midweek. Not quite sure which day we're settling on yet. It'll either be like Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or something like that. Basically any of the days it isn't a regular stream. Big thanks to all my staff who works behind the scenes. You know them all, and they have done so much good work. We've had some really cool production setups this weekend. We've had, I think we had 5 observers at one point, and an obs director.
Today, that was great.
Yeah, that was crazy. Thanks to Cap, Mark, Vic, Worst, Freya, Toxic. I think that's all the observers from today. Thank you, Pyrospire and Freya, who've been helping out with admin so much. Not possible without everyone who runs this, so it's been a lot of fun. But that's it. We'll see you all on Friday for B-League Week 3. We'll get our schedule out soon, and we'll see you some point in the week for Relay. But that's it for tonight. Good night, everyone. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. BPL Season 3 is brought to you by ExpressVPN, Badcliff, and John_Overwatch Coaching.